Another beautiful night for baseball in downtown Minneapolis, where the Twins are in position for a series win over Arizona, but not before a familiar face is inducted into the team's Hall of Fame. Special night ahead at Target Field right here on Fox Sports North. Michael Cuddyer and his family here this evening as we welcome you to Twins baseball. Tom Hanneman alongside Tim Laudner. Michael Cuddyer, part of the Twins organization since he was drafted 9th overall in 1997. Started playing for the team in 2001 and carved out a pretty amazing career in 11 years with the franchise. And tonight he will be inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame. 11 years with the Twins. In that time, still ranks top 10 in doubles and home runs with 141. Did so many things well.
Tom, I think when we think about the career that Michael Cuddyer had in the Twins uniform, we start off with the fact that we knew that he was a pretty special player right when he first arrived. And when he stood in the batter's box during batting practice, and the noise that his bat made was very special. You knew he was somebody different. And when you think about the numbers that Michael Cuddyer put up as a player in a Minnesota Twins uniform, they were only being matched by the fact that he also was instrumental in the community. And he wore that Minnesota Twins uniform with a great deal of pride, with a great deal of dignity, and a great deal of class, Tom.
Here we go. Target Field PA announcer Adam Abrams.
Twins Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the master of ceremonies for this evening's Twins Hall of Fame ceremony, Dick Bramer.
Thank you, and welcome to the 2017 Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame weekend. The dictionary defines a Hall of Fame as a group of individuals in a category who have been selected as particularly illustrious. We have 28 such illustrious careers from both on and off the field inducted, and have the pleasure of adding 2 more this weekend. While tonight we honor Michael Cuddyer, I'd like to take this moment to welcome Andy MacPhail, who will be enshrined tomorrow afternoon. Welcome back to Minnesota, Andy. To begin tonight's festivities, let's say hello to 11 current Twins Hall of Famers who are with us here tonight. Inducted in 2016, he spent 25 years as the play-by-play voice of the Twins on the radio. He called 2 World Series championships, and his touch 'em all continues to resonate. John Gordon. Also inducted in 2016, a teammate of Michael Cuddyer's for 7 of his 12 seasons with the Twins. You've seen him hit home runs, make diving grabs. Now he's one of my broadcast partners, Torii Hunter. Inducted in 2013, he holds the Twins record with 648 games pitched. His 116 saves ranks 4th all-time for the Twins. And now teaching his craft as the bullpen coach, everyday Eddie Guardado. In 1970, he became the first Twin to win the American League Cy Young Award. He had 3 consecutive 17-plus win seasons and over 1,000 strikeouts. Inducted in 2011, pitcher Jim Perry. He spent his entire 12-year career with the Twins. Was the opening day starter 9 times, and his 148 wins are 3rd all-time in Twins history. Inducted in 2009, pitcher Brad Radke. Inducted in 2008, he had 5 seasons of 30 or more saves in his 11 seasons with the Twins. His 254 saves are 2nd all-time. Pitcher Rick Aguilera. Inducted in 2007, a member of the Twins organization since its inception in 1961, and was the director of the minor leagues from 1986 until his retirement in 2012. Please welcome Mr. Jim Rantz. Inducted in 2012, the winningest manager in Twins history, whose statue now welcomes fans as they walk to Target Field, TK Tom Kelly. Not only is he a Twins Hall of Famer, he's a National Baseball Hall of Famer. He struck out over 2,000 batters in his Twins career. He's the first Twins pitcher to have his number retired, Bert Blyleven. He began his Twins career 55 years ago in 1962, and he remains a staple of Twins baseball to this day. Tony's love for the Twins may only be matched by the adoration we all have of him. Tony Oliva. A seven-time batting champion, a member of the 3,000 hit club, and a Baseball Hall of Famer. He inspired us with his play, but we are equally inspired about what he has done, spreading the word about heart health and the importance of being a donor. We are blessed to have him with us tonight. Chairman of the Twins Hall of Fame, Rod Carew. With an incredible smile. Isn't that a Hall of Fame smile? He probably could have gotten in with just that. But folks, this guy could play ball. He hit for power, had speed, could play anywhere in the field. He could even pitch if called upon. Whether it was the smile, the magic tricks, or the community outreach, Michael shined both on and off the field. And we got to not only watch a Twins Hall of Famer, but also a Hall of Fame person.
Driven deep to right field. This has got some carry. Gonzalez watches it go off the wall. And Cuddyer has his first major league hit. It's a stand-up double.
Played hard, he played right, and he did everything that you expect out of a great teammate.
He came ready to play every day. I think he got a lot of respect from all his teammates. The way that he went about his business and
came into the clubhouse. There's always a smile on his face, and he was always excited to be there.
Michael Cuddyer played 11 seasons in Minnesota and played over 1,100 games. He achieved over 1,000 hits, 239 doubles, 141 home runs, and 580 RBI.
And he worked his tail off. They had him at third base a little bit. They tried him at second. He played in the outfield.
We'd always joke with him how many gloves he had in his locker, first baseman's mitt. I even told him at the time I'd throw a catcher's mitt in there for him. But
you would ask him and you'd never hear anything back about it. He would do whatever was needed to help the team win that day.
Michael made a significant impact in the postseason, too. Not only does he hold the Twins record for postseason games played with 22, he batted .338, including 2 home runs and 8 runs batted in.
Against him, swinging a drive center field and well hit. Granderson back, way back. It's gone. Just cleared the wall. 2-run home run for Michael Cuddyer. Touch 'em all, Michael.
Michael not only impacted the game on the field, he used his platform to impact those off the field. Michael Cuddyer helped start the baseball celebrity waiter event for the Boys and Girls Club. He was also instrumental in raising money for the construction of a wheelchair softball field in Brooklyn Park. His award-winning smile and ability to connect with people at a personal level endeared him to fans and created as much, if not more, of an impact than on the field.
he got the whole picture. You know, like I said, how to be a professional, how to play the game the right way, but also how to you know, show his appreciation back towards the community. And I know he was involved in a lot of different things. I know one thing particularly we kind of did a lot of things with was the Boys and Girls Club. And
this is what a big leaguer does. This is what you're supposed to do. And this is how I'm going to do it. And he went out there and didn't talk about it, but set the example and was a professional and was somebody that everyone could look up to.
But there may not be anything more impactful to Twins territory than Michael's ability with magic.
You know, he's definitely, you know, into it. It's fun for me because I've known Cuddy for a long time to see him do the same tricks to somebody that's never seen it before.
He showed me a card trick, and it was pretty impressive. He kind of slapped the cards out of my hand. I told him that I had a certain card, and he told me that was my card, and I looked at it, it was a 7. And I thought Cuddyer did some kind of black magic or something like that, but, you know, throughout his whole career, man, he's done some great things in the clubhouse as far as magic tricks.
He was a guy that really had an ability to bring people together, and the magic was one of those ways that he did it.
Michael Cuddyer. Magic moments on the field, magic moments off the field. Qualities of a Hall of Famer.
He's got 2. Cuddyer completes the cycle.
Fly ball center field. It's deep. Here's Erstad to the track. Erstad to the wall.
Baby! Yeah!
Michael Cuddyer. Touch them all, Michael, and the Twins win the game 12-10 on Michael Cuddyer's home run.
And now it's my pleasure to welcome 2016 Twins Hall of Fame inductee, radio broadcaster John Gordon.
Thank you, Dick. People always used to ask me, what was it like working with Hall of Fame broadcaster Herb Carneal? I would always answer, Herb's the consummate professional. By dictionary definition, a consummate professional is complete, supremely skilled, and superb, and a consummate master in the game of baseball. Michael Cuddyer is soon to be the 21st Minnesota Twins player to be inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame. In my mind, and in the mind of the Minnesota Twins family and the Twins fans, Michael Cuddyer was and still is the consummate professional, both on and off the baseball field. Statistically, like the other 21 Hall of Fame players, he's well qualified. He spent 11 seasons in a Twins uniform, was an American League All-Star representing the Twins in 2011, played in over 1,100 games, and is ranked among the top 15 in 7 different offensive categories in the Twins record book. Michael Cuddyer's baseball abilities and accomplishments certainly speak volumes. But more important than baseball statistics, Michael Cuddyer's presence away from the field easily ranks among the top 5 in the history of the organization. His countless hours in the clubhouse mentoring younger players never went unnoticed amongst the manager, coaches, and veteran players. His complete dedication to working with the Twins organization and the Twins Community Fund, giving more than token hours and helping to raise millions of dollars for various charities. I don't guess there's a true definition of what makes up a Hall of Famer, a Twins Hall of Famer. Yes, he has to be a better than average player with longevity. Yes, he has to maintain high standards while representing the organization, his teammates, coaches, and manager. And yes, those same high standards with the fans and the public. And Michael Cuddyer fits that general outline. I want everyone to know I was deeply honored when Michael asked me to introduce him here today. I don't have a story to recall, a comical experience about or with Michael, a heartwarming tale, whatever. I do remember how excited all of us were when Michael was drafted #1, 9th overall by the Twins in 1997. Wow, a high school shortstop pitcher out of Chesapeake, Virginia, who might play both positions when he makes it to the big leagues. 1 game, 1 inning as a pitcher, never a game as a shortstop. Single for so many years, and a pretty little school teacher catches his eye. Wow, Michael, like all of us, you married up. And a card shark who could dazzle you with amazing card tricks. Michael, please tell us how you can ask to pick a card, any card, put it back in the deck, shuffle it 13 times, and pull the card out of my shirt pocket and ask, is this your card? And yes, it always is. Proudly, for all of us Twins fans here tonight, it's a pleasure to introduce Michael Cuddyer, Cuddy, as the 29th member of the Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame. Michael, it's your time.
Wow. Thank you. Because I won't have a chance tomorrow, I want to congratulate Andy MacPhail for going in to be forever linked in Twins history with you. I'm totally honored, so congratulations. You know, anytime you get a phone call and on the other end is Rod Carew, you immediately get a little starstruck. Doesn't matter how many times you've hit in the batting cage with him, how many lessons he's given you, those butterflies start flowing a little bit. Now you couple that feeling with the message that you're going to be inducted into the Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame, you become a little speechless. That conversation will be forever etched in my mind, and I will live with it the rest of my life, and I could not tell you how honored I was to receive that phone call, so thank you. Obviously, I've got a lot of people I'd like to thank that got me here to stand here today, and many of which I won't have time to mention, and I apologize for that. I just don't have the time, but I love each and every one of you. First, I'd like to thank my mom, Marcia, my dad, Henry, my sister, Katie, for providing me with every opportunity to strive for and ultimately achieve my dreams. Whether it was a new bat or glove or a new life lesson, you were always there to provide, and thank you. You know, baseball is a sport where all players strive for consistency. It's the holy grail. Be a consistent player. That's all you ever hear. Be consistent. But the problem with that is baseball is not consistent. Every day is different. Every pitcher is different. Every pitch is different. I mean, even every ballpark that you play on is different. So every player should count themselves lucky when they can find a wife that can at least keep the home consistent. Claudia, I could not thank you enough for being my mark of consistency. You know, being a professional baseball player's wife is no easy task. Not only do you have to take care of the home, keep it consistent, but majority of the time, you got to do it by yourself. So I may be the one inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight, but just know that I'm holding your hand the whole way through. Thank you, and I love you. I want to say thank you to my kids, Casey, Chloe, and Maddie. Thank you guys for always being Daddy's biggest fan. I'm so grateful that you guys get to call me Daddy, and you make me proud every single day. I love you guys, and thank you. Thank you to the entire Twins organization. Special thanks to the Pohlad family for always treating my family and me with great respect and class. Thank you to Dave St. Peter for being extremely instrumental and to get me back reunited with the organization that means so much to me. Thank you to Terry Ryan and all of the men and women who make up the front office. Nobody in this game works as hard as you all do to not only make this a special place to play, but a big piece in the community and part of the fabric of this city and this state of Minnesota. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all my minor league coaches, managers, and field coordinators. As an 18-year-old with no baseball education over the level of high school, I could not have handpicked a better group of people to teach me how to play professional baseball. It's called the Twins way for a reason. That's because it's the right way. Thank you to Tom Kelly for in 2001 suggesting me to start learning every position. It's pretty obvious I couldn't play shortstop. We've already said that enough. But thank you for giving me that roadmap to the big leagues. And thank you to Gardy for trusting me at all those other positions, even when sometimes that trust wasn't very warranted. Not only were you my manager for a decade, but you were a friend that taught us that baseball was not always the most important thing. Thank you. Thank you to my former big league coaches for being my instructors, teachers, sounding boards, but most of all, thank you for being my friends. You know, since I've retired, I obviously get a lot of questions about my career. By far, the most common one is, what was your favorite moment? Now, it's easy to bring up 2006, watching the Royals beat the Tigers on the, I guess you call it Jumbotrons of the Metrodome. Back then, that's what we called it, the Jumbotrons. Celebrating with those 40,000 fans who stayed to see us win the division after our season was even already over. And who can forget 2009, game 163? I've completely forgot about 2008's game 163, so we'll talk about 2009's. But no, those two moments, they're extremely important. However, if I'm being honest, many of those on-the-field moments, they've either faded or they just blend all together. My favorite moments were generated from the relationships I was able to form over my career. Memories of the multiple generations of Cuddy's buddies. Memories of off-season fishing and golfing days with AJ, Loshi, and Resto. Memories of LeCroy taking care of me when I was 19 years old with flu-like symptoms and homesickness. Memories of Twins Unplugged, which ultimately evolved into Cuddy Unplugged. The baseball name game with Dustin on our spring training bus rides. Checking the new media guide for countless mistakes after Herman had already printed 1,000 of them. Memories of Joe's musical and lyrical talent and the shredder Nicky Punto and his pregame BPs when we needed a spark. Or Matty G's pregame basketball games. You know, I was lucky enough to learn from Harmon, Tonio, Torrey, Koski, Dougie, Jock, Hawk, Eddie, Radke, and so many others who taught me what it meant to be a professional. I remember the miles logged and the friendships gained from Winter's Caravan, Twins Fest, Pro Shop signings, and numerous charity events. I remember when this community came together to win the Pepsi Refresh Project, a victory over much, much bigger markets, all to give the wheelchair softball team, the Rolling Twins, a field to play on and forge their own memories playing the game they love. No, not many of my memories are of home runs and RBI. They're more like Johan's wiffle ball clubhouse games and Morney's affection for mac and cheese. My friendships with Hot Rod and the clubhouse staff. So when I say this to you, know that I mean it with every fiber in my body. Thank you, Twins fans. Thank you for being with me from day one. From a role player to an all-star, you were honest and respectful, passionate and true. Even when I moved to Colorado and New York, I still saw Twins #5 jerseys in every stadium. I am eternally grateful, and I love you all. And thank you to my teammates. Thank you for getting me through the grind. Thank you for being brothers and warriors. I respect you all and love each and every one of you. To the current players, a little piece of unsolicited advice. Cherish these relationships that are being formed. Invest in your teammates. Invest in your community. Take the time not only to realize the impact that you have on others, but also realize the impact that others have on you. The platform and experiences that this game provides don't last forever, but the relationships, the things that really matter, they can if you pay attention. I can't tell you how honored and humbled I am today, and no matter how many times I say it, thank you just doesn't sound like enough. But until I can find the perfect phrase, it is simply all I can say. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Direct your attention to the video board. Earlier today, fans on Target Field saw the debut of Michael's Hall of Fame pennant, which will be on permanent display with all the other Twins Hall of Famers. And also, Michael, we continue the tradition of presenting all inductees with original artwork created by renowned Minnesota artist Terrence Fogarty. Unveiling Michael's print will be former teammates Brad Radke and Torrey Hunter. And now we invite Michael to throw the first pitch to a very special guest. He was manager for 10 of Michael's 11 seasons in Minnesota. And he just so happens to be coaching in the visitors' dugout this weekend. Welcome back home, Ron Gardenhire.
Michael Cuddyer, the 29th member of the Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame. No, he wasn't a pitcher, although he did pitch for the Twins as a position player. A little outside on the first pitch there to his former manager. Dedicated discipline of the Twins' way of playing the game, and it paid off very well for him. Up next, we turn our attention to tonight's game, a Saturday night showdown between the Twins and dangerous Diamondbacks. Some would call it a tough act to follow after blasting 6 home runs last night. A total of 2,169 feet combined. Twins are ready for an encore performance and another power display and win here tonight. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm. We welcome you back to Twins baseball. Alongside Tim Laudner, I'm Tom Hanneman. We have addressed the resilience of this Twins team many times during this season. We've seen it displayed in the last 12 games as well, when offensively they've been the best team in baseball overall.
It's not just one guy. Everybody up and down the lineup has been getting in on the act, from the guy Brian Dozier at the top of the order all the way to the guys down at the bottom of the order. Everybody's been pitching in, and some of the guys are really finding their way right now. Eddie Rosario has climbed up over the 300 mark. Jorge Polanco, he had a bit of a midseason slump. He is absolutely tearing the cover off the baseball. We saw last night. The big man, Miguel Sano, he stepped into a couple and he hit him a long way, but that young man right there, Byron Buxton, he may be turning out to be one of the most exciting young players, if not already, in baseball. This guy's got a skill set that is off the charts. He can run, he can go get the baseball, and now he's finding his way offensively. He can really swing the bat, and he's been working hard on using the entire field. We saw that last night.
Individually, no player has been more impressive at the plate over the last 7 weeks than Byron Buxton. Audra Martin on the field now for more on Byron's sustained success.
Tom, that success lately has been so impressive for Byron Buxton. It's almost crazy to think that it was just a month ago that he was dealing with that groin injury, and everybody was wondering if that would throw things off, if he'd be able to pick up where he left off. Well, luckily for him, when he came back, nothing changed. He got right back to work and he kept getting better. The last 8 games have been so impressive. He's been the Twins' most reliable hitter with a .464 clip, 5 extra base hits, and 9 runs driven in. If he keeps the same approach at the plate, he could have the best month of his career.
I think just getting into that, being aggressive and swinging at good pitches. Not chasing those pitches in the dirt or chasing those pitches up high, and putting myself in good situations to hit him.
Twins hope all of the bats come alive yet again tonight to support Jose Barrios as he looks to bounce back against the Diamondbacks. Frankie for Arizona, Barrios for Minnesota. First pitch is coming your way next.
First pitch, a fastball outside. Jose Barrios ready to go. He's facing David Peralta, leading off the top of the first inning.
Yeah, Barrios making his 18th start, his first start against the Diamondbacks.
And a strike, 1-1. And Barrios hoping to pitch a clean, quick first inning. That's been an issue in his last couple starts. He's given up 5 runs in each of his last 2 first innings.
Well, it's important here tonight for Barrios to establish that fastball, so the first 3 pitches are the fastball. He'll mix in a hard breaking ball and a changeup. Those are his numbers. He's done a good job. Opponents hitting only 241, lefties 247 off of him, right-handers 236.
Breaking ball, tap foul. Take a look at the Diamondbacks lineup for game 2. David Peralta, A.J. Pollock, Jake Lamb, Paul Goldschmidt, J.D. Martinez, Daniel Descalzo, Brandon Drury, Ketel Marte, and Jeff Mathis. 1-2. And a high fastball gets a swing and a miss, one down.
And there's that good fastball right there after a good breaking ball. That Peralta fouled off. He went up the ladder with that fastball, picks up a strikeout. So a fastball in the mid-90s. Oh, had some zip on it right there.
In Barrios' last start against the Tigers, Neil Allen made a visit early and suggested that he rely more on his fastball. Now he's hoping to do that without a trip to the mound from either the catcher, the pitching coach, or the manager.
Well, you never quit learning in the game, and they said Barrios was starting to think that he had to throw everybody that breaking ball. He forgot about the fastball. That's what Neil Allen told me. So here tonight, establish that baby. Work both sides of the plate. Challenge him.
Popped straight up in the air. Escobar coming in. Polanco coming in, and it's Polanco making the call and the catch. 2 down.
You know, to be a major league hitter and to be successful, you're talking, hey, 3 hits and 10 at bats means they falter 7 out of 10 times. So be aggressive with it.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Rosario, Buxton, and Kepler in the outfield. Escobar, Polanco, Dozier, Mauer the infield, and Jason Castro behind the plate. A couple of quick outs on just 7 pitches, and now Jake Lamb. And a breaking ball over for a called strike 1.
Yeah, Lamb having an all-star year. He represented the Diamondbacks, one of a couple guys that represented the Diamondbacks in the all-star game. That was his first appearance.
Fastball off the plate, 1-1.
Barrios, 23 years old, from Puerto Rico, making his 18th start, his 5th interleague start.
Strike call, 1-2.
One thing about Barrios, he's pitched very well here at Target Field this season. 7 starts. This is his 8th start here. He's 6-1 with a 3.3 ERA at home. That's what you like to see.
Fastball up and away. 97 miles per hour. We saw the gun maybe a little hot last night. I don't ever see Barrios throw 97. Believe the gun to be pretty accurate here, but maybe he's got a little extra on that fastball tonight. 2-2. We saw Santana get up to 96 last night a couple of times. Good pitch down and away.
I'm telling you, he's done a good job. Last year he was over on that first base side of the pitching rubber and not really utilizing the rubber as much, but now he's over on the third base side, creating a little bit of a different angle, and he's putting those spikes right against that pitching rubber. You know, he's a young man that works really hard, and he knows the importance of leg strength to throw that ball toward home plate. Right there, that push off.
Breaking ball gets a pop up near the Twins dugout, and it will carry back into the seats. Still 2-2.
There's a breaking ball. Sometimes he gets underneath that curveball, but take a look at the push off right there. Push off of there. Like a sprinter using that running block to get a good jump.
Fall back again. Hey, when you were young in your career, early 20s, let's say, did you elevate your focus a little bit when you were matched up against a Jim Palmer or somebody like that?
Oh yeah, very much so. You know who your mound opponent is. And here tonight, Zach Greinke. And he's a good one.
And now 3-2.
So you know you can't make a mistake. You know you can't give up a couple 2 or 3 runs. You're not going to go out and pitch a shutout every time, but keep your club in the game, and that's Barrios's goal here tonight.
Goldschmidt on deck. fastball sails away. Good plate appearance for Lamb as he fouled off some 2-strike pitches, ends up going to first with a walk, and Goldschmidt will come to the plate with a man aboard.
Oh, this guy is outstanding. I mean, ever since he put on that Diamondback uniform, he has been a 5-time All-Star. This year, 5th in the American League in hitting, 4th in home runs, driving in a lot of runs, scoring a lot of runs.
Fouled back, a strike. First 2 outs came easy on 7 pitches. Now 10 pitches later, there's a man aboard and a very dangerous hitter at the plate.
Going inside with that fastball.
And missing 1-1.
Goldschmidt ended up getting a couple hits in last night's ball game. They were both pitches away that he drove to right field, so a guy that uses the whole field.
Beaten foul. 1-2.
Good fastball there. Had a little tail on it that kind of ran into Goldschmidt right there.
We probably are as guilty as anybody of talking about his velocity, mid 90s, 97 tonight, but it is the movement that will make him succeed or fail. Movement or lack of it. And another 95-mile-per-hour fastball fouled straight back.
Yeah, a lot of pitches are up right now, though. He's got to concentrate down a little bit. Try to hit the shin guards of your catcher, and that being Jason Castro. The art of visualization.
Don't know. Has he thrown a changeup yet?
Don't know.
Breaking ball fouled back.
Even that curveball left up a little bit.
But this is what we've seen at times from Berríos. Not swings and misses, but what have we had? 7 or 8 foul balls in this inning.
Well, he gets underneath that curveball a little bit. That thumb kind of goes, you know, east to west rather than north to south, and that creates a good downward break where your thumb is over the baseball.
When asked about Berríos' struggles in the first inning, Paul Molitor said, hey, it's not just him. That's kind of been a chronic problem throughout the rotation, and he wasn't concerned about the back-to-back poor first innings. 1-2. Now 2-2 with a breaking ball in the dirt.
Look at Irvin Santana last night. You know, he struggled the first couple innings. He gave up that home run to Peralta. All of a sudden something clicked and he put zeros on the board, allowed the Twins to come back and eventually win the ball game.
2-2, and a nice crowd here at Target Field trying to encourage Berríos through the end of this first inning.
Going back inside.
Foul tip, and Castro hangs on, and there is the end of the top of the first. No hits, a walk, a man left aboard. It's Zach Greinke, a Cy Young Award winner, is Berríos' mound opponent here tonight. Encouraged with the fact that in August the Twins are 11-6. Here's the Menards batting order for Game 2. Brian Dozier, Max Kepler, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Escobar, Byron Buxton, Jorge Polanco, and Jason Castro.
And it'll be 33-year-old Zach Greinke on the mound here for tonight for the Diamondbacks in his 14th Major League season, making his 25th start.
Dozier taps it foul.
Greinke, of course, came up with the Kansas City Royals. He's pitched for the Milwaukee Brewers and the LA Dodgers in his second season with the Diamondbacks. Won the Cy Young Award for the Royals back in 2009. Signed a long-term contract by the Diamondbacks. He's got nasty stuff. He's got 4 or 5 very, very good quality pitches. Good running fastball, 4-seamer. You can see when the Diamondbacks lose how well Greinke pitches.
The definition of a stopper.
Now he has had some problems here at Target Field, so hopefully that will continue.
And Greinke might have thought he hit the corner. Angel Hernandez said it was outside. 1-2.
Last time the Twins saw Greinke, he was with the Dodgers, and he pitched here on April 30th, 2014. And he will continue to hit that spot throughout the ballgame. Excellent control.
Left a pitch up down the right field line. Martinez has no play.
Greinke in 6 starts here at Target Field. He's 1-3 with a 4.74 ERA. Those starts coming as a Royal starter, a Brewer starter, and a Dodger starter.
In his free agent year with the Dodgers, his last year with them, he had a season for the ages. 19-3. 1-2 pitch to Dozier. 19-3, 1.66 his ERA, which for a starting pitcher, we haven't seen numbers like that since 1968.
Bob Gibson.
222 2/3 innings, 148 hits. An opponent batting average of 187. This is from a starting pitcher. 2-2. And now a full count. Seen Dozier do more and more of this rather than putting the first pitch in play or hitting a home run on the first pitch. Extending at bats and filling the count. Drawing some walks.
And Brian just 1 hit and 10 at bats against Greinke.
Up the line.
Make him throw some pitches.
This is just wonderful. It has to be of some benefit to Kepler in the on deck circle. Mauer in the hole, getting a chance to see Greinke's pitches, his release point.
Yeah, Greinke 6'2", about 200 pounds, comes straight over the top.
Another 3-2. Rounded towards the hole and through. Dozier gets a base hit after a great at bat.
Well, the shortstop Marte was shading Dozier to pull toward third base line. Kind of left a hole right up the middle, and Brian found that hole.
And now Max Kepler. Kepler exhibiting some power lately. 6 home runs in his last 12 games.
He hit one here in last night's ball game. He got really the game-winning home run here against the Indians in Game 2 on Thursday night.
Kepler hitting .288 against right-handed pitching. He's got a tough righty to face tonight. Squaring and taking a strike.
About 4 or 5 batters in the lineup that have not faced Greinke before, and Kepler one of those.
In the dirt. Scooped by Mathis, 1-1.
With all that movement too. 13 double plays turned behind Greinke.
Kepler cranked a 440-foot home run into the right center field seats last night. Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss.
A big curveball there. The curveball, the slider, the changeup. Two different types of fastballs.
Tough field to play in center field. A.J. Pollock is shading his eyes, squinting. Just a little sunlight left out there in center field, and he's got to look right into it. Look how long the shadow is directly behind him.
You know, if he moved in about 20 feet, you know, that would be a problem.
Kepler takes up high, and I don't know whether Mathis dropped the ball or whether he bumped into Angel Hernandez. Looked like they were going to try to pick off Dozier at first, and the home plate umpire may have interfered with the throw.
Let's take a look at this high fastball right here. I think in the release you see he just lost the grip of the baseball.
Never did get it in his pitching hand. There's Angel Hernandez, John Tumpane, Sean Barber, Ted Barrett on the bases. 2-2 to Kepler. And now 3-2.
That's a good pitch to lay off of right there, that running fastball.
Dozier ran the count full before getting a single. See if Dozier takes off here. Brian with 11 steals and 17 tries.
Brian was kind of leaning towards second base, but dove back in safely. Been 5 stolen bases off of Greinke this year in 11 attempts. So a pretty quick home.
(3-2) to Kepler. Dozier goes. Pitch grounded toward the hole. Nice stop at second by Descalzo, and he retires Kepler. A great play by Daniel Descalzo to take a hit away from Kepler.
Yeah, very nice. Both Dozier and Kepler trying to go up the middle. And Descalzo does a great job of diving. Kind of a Brian Dozier type play right here. He comes up and gets Kepler at first base, but Dozier advances to second.
And now Joe Mauer. Mauer with a chance to give the Twins the first lead with a hit to the outfield. He's had extensive experience. 50 at bats against Greinke. He's hitting .360 against him. 18 hits.
With a couple doubles.
Strike one.
Joe has also walked 7 times against Greinke.
Fastball inside. You might be able to hear Greinke grunting with every pitch.
The one I always remember grunting was Nolan Ryan.
Always thought a hitter, by the time he heard the grunt, the ball was already past him. 1-1. The Twins making Greinke work here in the first inning. Taken low, and it's 2-1.
Greinke in his career making his 20th career start against the Twins, his 24th game. 5 wins, 8 losses, an ERA at 4.5, 4.50. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach.
Longtime Angel coach.
Yeah, former teammate of mine.
Another 3-ball count. Greinke with 18 pitches and only half of them strikes. And most of those were fouled away by Dozier. Big man Sano on deck. (3-1) to Mauer. Ball 4. And Sano will come up with 2 men aboard. Northland Ford defense for the Diamondbacks. Peralta, Pollock, Martinez in the outfield. Lamb and Marte left side of the infield. Descalso, Goldschmidt the right side. Jeff Mathis doing the catching. We've already seen Descalso show some good range to his right. Mathis and a couple of infielders talking with Greinke. We saw it last night from Irvin Santana, veteran pitcher. Something's just not right in that first inning. And the Diamondbacks actually did okay. They got a couple runs against Santana last night. The Twins need to take advantage of this situation tonight.
You know, Greinke, that professional type, good quality pitcher, 4-time All-Star. You want to get him early before he gets into a good rhythm.
Sano with 2 tape measure home runs last night and a base hit to right. All home runs were against off-speed pitches.
He's never faced Greinke.
And he gets a breaking ball down and away. 20 pitches, 9 strikes. Greinke's gone at least 5 innings in every start this year. Inside, 2-0.
He's been pitching good as of late over Greinke since June 26th over his last 9 starts. 6-1, 2.78 ERA. But again, here at Target Field, he has not had a lot of luck. So if the Twins can take advantage of that.
Breaking ball over for a strike. Second time he's thrown that mid-70s curve for a strike, having struggled throwing strikes with everything else.
Well, you're behind the count. I'm sure Sano looking dead red, meaning fastball. And a big slow curveball over the plate.
Fouled back.
Good swing.
To deep left center, then to deep left field. Traveling combined about 900 feet. Six home runs for the Twins last night. 2-2 to Sano. Checked his swing, we think. And it's another 3-ball count.
And a good take right there by Sano.
He's gone 3 balls on each of the first 4 batters.
Pretty good take right here. That ball down, but you can see how close he came to going too far.
Full count. Wouldn't think the Twins would send the runners given Sano's frequent striking out. Ball 4, and they are loaded up for Eddie Rosario.
Yeah, Greinke almost having the same problem that Santana had in the first inning with that slider missing down and away. Mathis going out, walking Greinke back to the pitching mound.
Paul Molitor said after the game last night that he sensed that Sano was ready to have a big game because he was, well, he took a walk in his first inning at bat, was seeing a lot of pitches, and sometimes that's the final step in somebody finally putting it all together.
I hope so. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, as we showed earlier, now he's out on the mound talking to his catcher and pitcher. And actually the whole infield is in there. Going to face a guy that's been red hot. Eddie Rosario over his last 11 ball games. You see the numbers. Got a chance to add it here, driving in some runs and using the whole field.
Hitting .371 in the month of August. He's already won a Player of the Week award, and he's well on his way to winning the Player of the Month award. And he's in a big spot here with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Greinke working out of the windup with 1 out.
Breaking ball in the dirt, a swing and a miss.
Yeah, I say wind up with 1 out. A lot of times you're asked to throw into stretch position. So that runner at second or even first base can take maybe a bigger lead. Maybe try to break up a double play.
Popped up. Infield fly rule will be called. So Rosario's retired, even though Lamb struggled to make the catch, and that'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. Potentially a big out if Greinke can come back now and get Escobar. The Twins will have squandered a first inning scoring opportunity.
Well, you wonder if Lamb was kind of keeping an eye on Rosario too, because he did not run down toward first base at all. He lets that ball drop right there. It could have been a double play.
Well, no, batter's out. It was the infield fly rule.
That's true. That's right. I forgot.
2 down, and now Escobar.
Guess he's got no reason to run, does he?
And now a step off by Greinke. Doesn't look like he and Mathis are on the same page. That might have been one of the issues last night between Castro and Santana. It would take them a while to get on the same wavelength. Fastball and strike one.
Yeah, sometimes as a pitcher, when you're in that windup position with bases loaded, you step off just to show that runner at third base that you can do that. So Dozier doesn't come maybe make you try to balk.
1 strike to Escobar. The breaking ball, which has been his most controlled pitch here in this first inning. This is outside 1-1.
Greinke's last start came 5 days ago at home against the Astros. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs, and a 2-0 win.
His 30th pitch of the first inning. Loop toward left. And caught by the third baseman Lamb. So Greinke pitches out of it. Some control issues. The Twins leave him full. No score after 1.
From the clubhouse, Paul Molitor said last night was a ton of fun. The key today to getting to Zach Greinke is realizing that taking on one of the best in the game can be fun in a different way. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of outs, but he hopes these guys embrace the challenge. Molitor also said the most impressive thing about Jorge Polanco's consistency this month so far is that really tough month of July is completely behind him. It didn't linger at all, and he thinks there's even better things still to come from Polanco. Monday's starters have been decided. The Twins are going to call up Tim Melville from AAA, and Dylan G will get the other start. Guys?
Thank you, Audra. Melville, a name that not many Twins fans are aware of, but he did awfully well in Rochester in the rotation. 10 starts, 4-3 mark, 2.70 ERA. One game out of the bullpen, but he'll be making the start in one of the games of the conventional doubleheader starting late in the afternoon on Monday. 1-1, and another breaking ball over for a strike.
Good breaking ball right there after a good fastball down and away.
J.D. Martinez was in the original starting lineup last night and then was scratched because he wasn't feeling well, and presumably he feels quite a bit better today. And Barrios strikes him out.
Now Martinez, of course, coming from the Detroit Tigers back on July 18th to the Diamondbacks. Barrios in 4 pitches. Ends up picking up his second strikeout on a good fastball inside.
And now Descalzo had an awfully nice play to get a big out in an otherwise ragged first inning for the Diamondbacks. Strike on the outside corner. Barrios with 28 pitches, 19 strikes. It's down the line and off the diagonal wall. 2 strikes. When it was all said and done last night, the Twins were in second place in the wild card standings, which means they marginally were in a position for a postseason spot if the season were to end today. But we have 42 more games to go. The Twins do. Inside 1-2. Up and away. 2-2. In games already played, the Tigers were shut out by the Dodgers 3-0, and the Blue Jays lost to the Cubs 4-3.
You mean the Dodgers won again?
Yeah. Fly ball center field. It'll carry out towards Buxton. And that's out number 2. And the Dodgers just keep getting better. They had to put Yu Darvish on the disabled list with some low back issues, but they got a veteran bat and a great clubhouse guy in Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, and they sent Peterson down, their center fielder, so Granderson will get some playing time. Yeah, Dodgers now with 87 wins. They're 87-34.
2 down, and now the designated hitter, Brendan Drury. Cleveland's leading Kansas City 1-0 in the 4th. We might be seeing some separation among the wild card contenders. Some teams that are on the bottom end keep losing. And the Twins are in the upper end and really won back-to-back ball games. It really is going to be a wild card finish, or it sure looks that way.
I hope it is. It's good for the game.
1-1. Twins essentially tied with the Angels. They're leading Baltimore, but they've had all sorts of bullpen issues. The wild card standings, and it gets deeper than that. Baltimore's 2 out. Tampa Bay, Toronto 3 back coming into play today. Blue Jays again already having lost. 3-1 now to Brendan Drury. Ketel Marte on deck. Right center field. Kepler to the gap. He won't get it. It wedges under the padding, and Drury will go to second with a 2-out double. Diamondbacks got a 2-out walk in the first, now a 2-out double, and Marte will bat.
Yeah, we've seen that before, where that you maybe 6 inches right there. That ball sometimes gets wedged in there. Fastball left up. Drury taking it the other way. You're expecting a carom, but would have been a double, I think, all the way. First hit for the Diamondbacks.
Marte, a switch hitter. He's been productive from both sides of the plate. He comes up with a runner at second and 2 down. Strike on the outside corner. Time called. Marte wanted time. Angel Hernandez gave it to him. Fouled away. 0-2. Twins, if they are going to survive the rest of August and September and get into postseason play, they will need this young man to be very steady and reliable. He's kind of blown hot and cold. He had a really good start in San Diego, and then the last 2 haven't been very good because of the rough first innings.
It's a week between starts too. We've had a couple extra days to work things out down with Neil Allen and Eddie Guardado down in that bullpen.
Line foul. Barrios didn't have a particularly good July, with an ERA of 5.79. Won a couple of ball games, lost a couple. .40 pitches on the night for Barrios. Popped up, chased by Escobar, and Escobar lunges and makes the catch on a warning track to end the inning. He's usually smiling anyway, but he can afford a bigger smile after an interesting catch for the 3rd out. Court tonight after what he did last night. 3 extra base hits, including an inside the park home run.
And how quick he got around those bases.
He was most of the way to second base when the ball hit the wall. Fouled back.
They got it at 13.85 seconds.
So, you know, add it up. 30 yards to first, 30 yards to second, 30 yards to third, 30 yards home. So that's 120 yards. And Paul Molitor made the point, who on earth can run that fast in a straight line? And here's this guy making right angles all the way around the bases.
I thought it was funny that Buxton said himself sometimes he counts his steps between bases, and he said he likes to do it between 5 and 7 steps. You imagine that? I mean, that's that long stride.
That's Winfield like. 1-2. Almost hit for the cycle, hit a line drive in his last at bat last night, caught by the second baseman. And that slower breaking ball backed it off to 69. Here's what we were talking about with Buxton last night. We saw the ball, we watched it, we saw it hit the wall, and we looked up, and Buxton was almost all the way to second base. There's the point of contact. He's halfway to second already on a line drive off the center field fence.
You see Gene Glenn right there sending him in a head first slide, and his second inside the park home run of the year.
Second in his career. Hit the first pitch of the final game of the year off Chris Sale for an inside the Parker in Chicago last year. Ball 1 to Polanco. If Rosario doesn't win Player of the Month in August the way he's going, Polanco might. He's hitting .429 this month. One and 0 to the Twins shortstop. A strike over the inside corner. And now on the outside corner. Absolutely perfect weather all day and tonight.
Beautiful evening.
I think it's low humidity. It's comfortable. And a strikeout of Polanco. 2 down.
Yeah, good changeup right there. Back-to-back strikeouts for Greinke.
September 12th is Minnesota Wild Night at Target Field. A limited number of Wild theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Twins Wild co-branded cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/wild. 4 in a row set down, 2 by strikeout here to start the second inning, and now Jason Castro. On the outside corner, and Greinke's been razor sharp here in the second inning.
It was almost like an artist out there once he gets that going, working both sides of the plate, changing speeds.
Their fastball fouled back. When we talk about establishing the fastball, I think when you're talking about that, you mean showing the hitter that you can hit this corner and that corner. And I think we've seen Greinke do that here in the second inning. It wasn't there in the first.
One of the masters of it was Greg Maddux. Even though it was an overpowering fastball, he made that 17-inch plate become a 23-inch plate by hitting his spots.
Back to the pitcher. And a quick 1-2-3 second inning for Greinke with a couple of strikeouts. North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Great night to be in Target Field. Glad you're watching Twins television tonight as the Twins try to make it 3 in a row. And Jose Barrios has fared much better here in the early innings tonight than his last 2 starts. He'll face Jeff Mathis, David Peralta, and A.J. Pollock.
He's allowed only 1 hit, a couple strikeouts, 1 walk.
And 41 pitches thrown. And he's on the outside corner with a fastball. Strike 1.
Diamondbacks carrying 3 catchers. Saw Iannetta last night, Mathis today. Might see Chris Herman tomorrow.
Be good to see Chris play again. Chris traded to the Diamondbacks for Daniel Palka, who's in AAA. He's been hurt a little bit this year, but a very powerful outfielder in the Twins minor league system. 0-2 to Mathis. Breaking ball wide of the plate.
Kind of talked about Iannetta last night. The average, their catchers are kind of not a very, okay, I don't want to say a bad word.
Good.
But you know what? They're average hitters, but they have power. Okay. There's a strikeout right there. Strikeout number 3. I don't want to say a bad word. I got
you've done that. Look what happened. Let's go to Audra Martin.
You guys crack me up. It's a big story. You already touched on it. The best team in baseball felt like they needed to get better. So the Dodgers last night acquired outfielder Curtis Granderson from the Mets in exchange for a player to be named later or cash. He's a great veteran guy. Brings 19 home runs to the Dodgers. Didn't have the best debut for them today, but he did score one of their 3 runs in the win today, guys.
All right, thank you. No score here. 1 down in the 3rd, and now 1-0 to David Peralta, who struck out swinging his first time up.
Yeah, Mathis was the 4th strikeout that Barrios has had.
And a strike, 1-1. Really good strike percentage for Barrios. 47 pitches, 31 strikes, 66% strike percentage. Fouled back 1-2.
Good fastball in right there after a good fastball away, so working both sides of the plate. Barrios just making his 32nd major league start. His 18th this year.
Inside, dug out of the dirt by Castro. Chip toward left, and Polanco's there for out number 2. You may notice that 2 of the 4 umpires tonight are wearing white wristbands. Angel Hernandez, you'd think, would wear it because it is centered around a controversy that he was in the middle of. There is 3rd base umpire Ted Barrett. The other 2 umpires are not wearing white wristbands. After Hernandez was last behind the plate, Ian Kinsler went public with his disapproval of the job that Hernandez did, not just on that day, but basically what Hernandez has done in his umpiring career. And he went public. The ball driven to right center field, and it's down for a hit. Pollock will reach, and he will go to second on a 2-out double here in the 3rd inning. As a result of Kinsler's comments, and make no mistake about it, he let Hernandez have it with both barrels. Kinsler got a fine. Now, Brad Ausmus said today that the fine was the largest he's ever seen in his years in the big leagues. Whatever the amount is, the Umpires Association is upset that Kinsler only got a fine and not a suspension when one of their own, Joe West, was suspended for 3 games for, he said sarcastically, being critical of Adrian Beltre, and West had to sit for 3 games. So the white wristbands are a show of support for, or I guess protest of, the fact that Kinsler was not suspended. It can't apparently be a sign of solidarity when only 2 of the umpires are wearing them. You got the first base umpire and the second base umpire who aren't wearing them. And the third base umpire and the home plate umpire are. 1-0 to Lamb. And then the sub-story to all of it is Hernandez is suing Major League Baseball for discrimination, saying he's been denied the postseason assignments. He got assigned to the All-Star game, ironically, this year, because Joe Torre, who's the head of the umpires relations for Major League Baseball, didn't care for Hernandez when he was managing.
Well, I remember, you think of Billy Martin, you think of Earl Weaver, guys that let the umpires know that he didn't think they were very good. So maybe a fine, I don't know, suspension maybe after Joe West got suspended. It's a different era in today's game. Picky.
2-2 to Jake Lamb. Drew a 2-out walk in the first inning. All the base traffic against Berríos tonight has come after the second out. Swing and a miss. And Berríos picks up 2 more strikeouts in the third. He's got 5 in the game and 3 shutout innings. Wasn't just the 7 home runs we saw here last night. There were 58 home runs hit in Major League Baseball last night. Second on the all-time list to July 2nd, 2002. But if you want to put an asterisk on that date, you can, because there was no drug testing back then. A lot of home runs. And the Twins and Diamondbacks looking for their first home run here tonight. Ball 1 to Dozier, who worked, and I mean worked, the count in his first inning at bat and ended up rolling a single up the middle. Sano walked, Mauer walked. Twins had a threat. And all those guys you just saw all hit home runs last night. Two and 0. 31 pitches in the first inning for Greinke and 10 in the second.
Yep, 30 in the first.
30. Okay.
Yep, 11 in the second.
Pulled foul. 2-1. Dozier, Kepler, and Mauer here in the third. Greinke in the second year of a 6-year deal. Talked about his incredible year in his last year with the Dodgers. Breaking ball over the corner, 2-2. And he parlayed that into a very rich deal. And the Diamondbacks last year, who many people thought would put together the type of year the Dodgers have this year, everything went wrong for him last year. Closest thing the National League had to a team like the Twins, as bad as the year was for the Twins, there was a lot of optimism in the beginning of the year, and the Diamondbacks were kind of the National League equivalent of the Twins. They didn't come close to 103 losses, but they were a very, very disappointing team.
Greinke's been outstanding in his career. 169 wins, only 105 losses. ERA at 3.39.
Dozier rolls it up the line, foul.
I remember when he came up with the Royals back in 2004. They were very high on him, but he had a lot of personal issues that actually he left the game of baseball and was thinking about retiring from baseball and trying golf. I guess he was a very good golfer at that time, still may be, but a good choice in coming back.
I bet Hawk Harrelson didn't talk him out of it. Isn't that what Hawk wanted to do?
Yeah.
And he held out.
He tried it. Yeah.
2-2 to Dozier. Seeing a lot of pitches from Greinke tonight. And another full count.
And the Twins doing a good job of laying off that pitch at just below the knee. So Greinke not missing by much, but good at bats. I mentioned Dozier had a good at bat. Kepler had a good at bat.
Another 3-2 count to Dozier. And he took ball 4. A leadoff walk here in the third. Let's get tonight's showstopper from Audra Martin.
Well, guys, you touched on those home runs last night. Manny Machado certainly did his part, taking on the Angels. He started his night with a home run in the second, followed it up with another one in the fifth. But the biggest moment of the night, no doubt, bottom of the ninth, down 2. Machado walks this one off with the grand slam. 3 home runs, 7 RBI in the game. That's the second time in his career he's put up those numbers in a game. Definitely was off to a slow start this season, but it seems to be well behind him, guys.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons the Orioles had a terrible first half, and he's also one of the reasons why they've reemerged as a contender.
Yeah, Orioles, like a lot of clubs, trying to get back to 500, just hover around there, stay in that wild card race.
Trailing 5-1 to the Angels in the 4th inning tonight. Here is Kepler. And outside ball 1. Oh, what a catch. He's won 3 Gold Gloves for a reason. Zach Greinke with a great leaping catch of the high chopper, and he turned it into a double play.
He's always been a pitcher that can field his position, and he showed it right there.
Second comebacker that he's fielded, and that was a very athletic play.
Take a look. Kepler going right and leaps up. And Marte, the shortstop, gets fed a nice throw to be able to throw over to first for the double play.
Now Mauer, who drew a first inning walk. Joe going after a first pitch fastball and tapping it foul. Something he would only do, one would think, against a pitcher he's had a lot of success against, and that fits the bill here. Mauer has done well against Greinke. Around the hands, 1-1. You can join us or stay with us for the 4th inning. Michael Cuddyer is going to join us during our telecast to talk about his induction and what it means to him. Nice speech given by Michael in the pregame ceremony.
Very nice.
Mauer taps another one, foul. There are now 29 members of the the Twins Hall of Fame, and sadly 11 of them are deceased. And tomorrow, Andy McPhail will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. One and two. Drilled to center. A ringing line drive base hit. And that'll get Sano to the plate with a man aboard.
A high fastball right there. Joe taking it sharply in the center field. Twins get their second hit.
Sano saw a lot of off-speed stuff and drew a walk. His 54th walk of the season. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss. Teams have gotten Miguel out by throwing breaking balls off the plate. But he reminded us last night twice what happens if you throw them for strikes. Now a fastball for a strike.
They went inside with that fastball. That's why it's important to work both sides of the plate right there. Great examples, you know, Sano chasing that slider, then he goes back in with a fastball. You can repeat, go back in again. Big,
and the very slow one. Back to 67 miles per hour. To the fourth, no score. You're watching Twins baseball, presented by State Farm. Thrill for Michael Cuddyer. He got to put on the Twins blazer, handed to him by Rod Carew, the 29th member of the Twins Hall of Fame, and 11 prior inductees on the field to celebrate with him. And
terrible, just terrible.
We didn't have to show that.
Yeah, we did.
The pitch intended to be caught by Ron Gardenhire, but nowhere near the plate. And we're very happy to have Michael with us. Michael, nice job on the speech. But what does all this mean for you? The team that drafted you, developed you, brought you to the big leagues, spent most of your career here, and now you're in its Hall of Fame.
You know, Dick, I really don't think words can do justice for what it means to me, but I can try. You know, like you said, a team that drafted me, a team that meant so much to me, not only my development as a baseball player, but as my development as a human being and as a man. I learned everything as I am today from this organization. The people in this organization, my teammates, the front office, the community. So for me to be able to go out there tonight and show my appreciation for this crowd and this area and Twins territory, it meant the world.
And that man meant the world to you,
absolutely,
too. Did not Ron Gardenhire. And I think you said in the speech, he taught you the game of baseball, but also he taught you to be a human being, and to
absolutely,
the good and the bad.
I think the first story that comes to mind was 2011, my father-in-law passed away, and we were in Seattle. And Gardy told me, look, you got to go. You got to leave. You got to come back whenever you want. It doesn't matter when you come back. You got to go and be with your wife. And that just right there shows you the kind of person that Gardy was. He cared more about you as a person in life than baseball. And I think that's why he was so revered in this area and all across baseball.
One down in the fourth. Barrios with a nice fielding play, and now J.D. Martinez. And it had to be of some comfort to you to have some of the Hall of Famers on the field with you who were instrumental. Played for TK for a year, and he was a fundamentalist, right? You had to do things the right way. Torrey Hunter was there, a teammate of yours who kind of helped you break in, I know.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I said in the speech was, you know, it was Twins way for a reason. That's because it was the right way.
Barrios with a great play.
See, that's the right way.
Take that, Sam.
Wow. Talk about Greinke winning 3 Gold Glove awards as a pitcher. That's a phenomenally athletic play.
You know what? I mean, it's a swinging bunt right here. The only one that had a chance, Escobar was playing back, is Barrios. Goes to a little slide and comes up and throws a strike over to Joe Mauer.
And the most impressive part about that was the bare hand. He didn't field it with his glove. He slid and still had the awareness to barehand it with the throw. That's impressive.
Two down and now Descalzo.
Michael, you mentioned, you know, Rod Carew. You got that phone call from Rod Carew. I know you know, Rod had helped you prior to that, but I know the folks that maybe did not hear the speech. Your feelings of when you got that phone call.
Well, obviously we all know what Rod has been through, and the phone call came over the winter while he was still recovering, still in the hospital. And right there, you just get humbled. You're like, who am I for Rod Carew to take a break of his rehab and recovery to call me and tell me that I've been inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame? I was speechless when it happened. I'm still speechless today because of it. But I think everybody that gets inducted in Twins Hall of Fame, and there's not many of us, should understand the importance of when a phone call from Rod Carew to tell you that news is. And it was extremely important to me.
And then you also mentioned Harmon Killebrew being a nice mentor for you as well.
Absolutely, and I wish I could have expanded on that because Harmon meant so much to me. From the autograph to just the way he treated people. He treated people and you know, everybody in this organization. Bert, you do the same thing, and Tony O.
Rosario makes a nice running catch.
Nice play. We'll talk
Such
about
a quick inning. We're going to bring you back.
Hey, we can stay up here all day long if we're going to have innings like that.
We want a long inning now.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonight's Coors Banquet Timeless Moment 2007, a game Michael Cuddyer will remember. We all do. Johan Santana two-hit the Rangers over 8 innings, struck out 17, and after the last strikeout of the 8th inning, he tipped his cap to the crowd, and no one was more relieved than Ron Gardenhire because he didn't know what to do, whether he should send him out there with a high pitch count, try to, you know, give him a chance to set the record of 20.
He didn't want to go back out there. He was done. He was taxed.
Eddie Rosario will lead off the fourth for the Twins. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven joined by the newest Twins Hall of Famer Michael Cuddyer. 1-0 to Rosario, and now 2-0. You were talking about Harmon Killebrew and his influence in your career.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, he treated people the right way. It didn't matter if you were one of the ushers or if you were another Hall of Famer. He treated you with kindness and respect, and that's how you're supposed to treat people, and that's the model that he set, and something that I lived upon, and it's why I wore number 3 in Colorado. You know, leaving this organization was one of the hardest things I ever did. You know, unfortunate circumstances led me to have to go to Colorado, so the biggest thing I could think of to not only give respect back to Harmon, but also give respect back to this organization was to wear number 3 in his honor. So every single day I took the field, not only did I have a team on my chest, but I also had a team on my back.
You know, I kind of laughed about when you said autographs. Folks, let the folks know what happened, why Harmon was an influence in that area.
Right. So we were doing an autograph signing. I believe it was in it was on Caravan, and I'm doing my autograph. My autograph used to look like an EKG. I mean, it was like and
Dr. Cuddyer.
Oh, it was terrible. I mean, it was worse than a doctor. It was like the machine where he was reading your heart. And Harmon gets it after about 15 minutes of the autograph signing, and there's, you know, 1,100 people that we have to sign for. It's just us 2. And he finally says, "Whose autograph is this?" He asks the person. Well, obviously, I'm the only person signing with him. He knows whose autograph it is. And he says, "Michael, if I see this go through the line one more time, I'm going to get up here and walk out. And the only person that these people are going to be mad at is you." So from that moment forward, and it was hard that night because at the time, you know, I wasn't really fluid in my signature, writing it all out. It still looked like I was a senior in high school at the time. It was all crooked. But I did. For the next 900 people, I wrote it so everybody can read it. And I think that was in 2002 or 2003. From that moment forward, I'd written every word out. Every letter
he did the same thing to Torrey Hunter, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something that Torrey and I need to do a better job of for Harmon in spring training, crack down on some of these guys and you know, on this team.
Rosario with a single. Escobar takes a ball. You know, I was with you on that Caravan, and I told the story before. I shared it with you, I think, earlier this year when you were with us. But I remember coming home thinking, boy, I hope this guy can play because he's great on the Caravan. This was, you know, this was your first Caravan, I'm sure, right? And the rookies and the younger players, you know, are sent out on Caravan a lot of times. Here's the ball chopped towards second, and the ball juggled. Everyone is going to be safe with Descalzo trying to keep an eye on the runner Rosario and the ball at the same time.
I think he tried to tag him right there. There was a little bit of contact, and that kind of got the ball out of his glove.
Rosario got away with one right there. That's one of those where you need to stop, but actually it worked out for us because he did go through.
You got to let the fielder give the outfielder a chance to field the ball.
He had plenty of time. You could see he kind of took his eye off it to hit the heel of his glove.
But if Descalzo catches that ball, he easily tags Rosario and throws him out at first.
Yep. Okay, I have a baseball, okay?
Yes.
Would you sign that for me? And we're going to show the folks at home how now Michael Cuddyer signs his autograph.
Error to Descalzo on the play. Hitting every letter, right?
There you go.
Here we go, folks. A little bit closer. You can read it. Michael Cuddyer.
So now on timed autographs, you know, like Twins Fest, where it's an hour signing, everybody wants to sign with me.
Oh, sure.
Because it takes me 25 seconds to write one autograph, and you know, everybody goes by their way.
Well, obviously you could play, but you know, rookies and younger players are sent out on Caravan. But you came back and how many Caravans were you on?
I believe it was 8.
Is that right?
I told Mike Herman, Brian Donaldson, and Dustin Morris, I said, until I have kids, you can put me on every single Caravan you want. I enjoyed it. As I mentioned in my speech, I enjoyed the relationships. I enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed going into the VFWs, into the schools, into, you know, all of these venues where people don't get to come to watch us play every day. So to be able to say thank you for coming and watching us play and thank you for being a fan, that means a lot. And You know, I grew up in an area where we didn't have a big league club. The closest big league club was the Orioles, which is 3.5 hours away. I used to think about how cool it would be if, you know, Cal Ripken were to come to my area and come to my school and speak. So it meant something to me. And obviously, once I had kids, I was unable to do it quite as often. But I think I got 8 of them in.
Wow, that's got to be a record. For an active player.
I think Tony Oliva's got that.
Well, but I'm not talking about the old older era when you know,
sure,
they would go out for a month, 6 weeks at a time. 2-1 to Buxton with runners at first and second, nobody out. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Buxton struck out on a super slow breaking ball in the second inning.
And that's what Greinke's thinking right here. Good breaking ball right there.
That's one thing that Greinke does. When he goes away from his location, when he's a little erratic, he really goes to that 65, 66, 68 mile an hour curveball just to try and get you to swing and feed off of your aggressiveness.
Twins trying to cash in here. They've had some threats against Greinke. First and second, nobody out. And Buxton strikes out on a pitch away.
He went after that slider, so Greinke picks up a big strikeout, his 4th.
And that'll bring up Polanco.
Now, Michael, I know you're with the organization now as we take a look at the breaking ball right there out of the reach of Buxton. What's your role now for the Twins?
You know, it's a very fluid role. I would say I'm a lot of consultant, phone calls, personnel decisions. They like to get my input. Chemistry, camaraderie, good people, bad people, good fits, not good fits. I came for the draft and was in the war room for there. It's a little bit of everything. I'll go down to instructional league and hang out with some of our draft picks and try and one of the most important and influential coaches for me was Jose Marzan, and he was my first coach that I ever had. And I think that first coach lays the foundation for you as a player. So I think it's good to have guys like Torrey and LaTroy and myself to go down to instructional league and work with these players that just got drafted and allow them to be around guys, quality people like LaTroy and Torrey, to set that foundation of how you are supposed to be a professional baseball player and what's going to be expected of you going forward. It's not summer camp anymore. You know, it's Major League Baseball, it's professional baseball. And for me, I think that kind of gets me going a little bit. I get excited for that. So I think we'll be doing a little bit more of that as well.
Are you doing some maybe going down to, say, Rochester or Chattanooga?
For me, it's not quite as much as that as I maybe could have.
Drive center field, and Rosario got a late break, so he'll be held. He wasn't sure whether that ball was hit off the barrel or off the end of the bat. And so he couldn't break cleanly from second base, and they're loaded up. Pardon the interruption.
Michael, I think that's one of the hardest things as a base runner, too, to see right here, right off the end of the bat. But, as a second baseman right there, Rosario, he's kind of has to turn like he did right there. And
that's all he could have done.
No man's land.
Yeah, that's all. You got to make a decision. You either go right off the bat or you stay in no man's land. One out right there. Obviously, we got a decent chance to get him in right here. As a hitter, you're going up there and you're worrying about getting the ball up in the air. The last thing you want to do is hit it in a double play or strike out. Those are the two options you want to try and stay away from. So you're going to look for a pitch to drive. As a base runner in that situation, that was all he could do. You needed to see if that ball's going to fall. You don't want to run yourself out of an inning.
Big at bat for Castro, trying to make solid contact, get the ball to the outfield. Takes an off-speed pitch, missing, ball 1. He thought perhaps he'd thrown strike 1. Castro hit a comebacker. Greinke made the play to wrap up the second inning.
You see the 72 pitches for Greinke trying to get the 3rd out here in the 4th inning. Excuse me, the 2nd out.
Outside 2-0. Twins filled the bases with 1 out in the first. But then Greinke got Rosario and Escobar on pop-ups. Now the bases loaded again with 1 out in the 4th.
Now, Bert, as a pitcher in this situation with the first pitch curveball, second pitch sinker down and away, 2 options you want as a pitcher, either a double play or a strikeout.
You got to go fastball down and away. Hopefully throw that sinker away, and he falls behind.
3-0.
Now you're looking ground ball right here when you get behind in the count.
Right.
If you get ahead in the count, then you're looking punch out.
And that's what every good pitcher does. They know in this situation they're only 1 pitch away. Doesn't matter what the count says, what the count dictates. You're 1 pitch away. You get that roll over to 4-6-3, and you're out of the inning. And as a hitter, you know that as well.
Castro takes ball 4 with the bases loaded.
That's a 4th walk for Greinke. Now, he came into this ball game over 2,400 innings, averaging 2.2 walks per night. It's only the 2nd time this year he's walked 4. And you can see the location of all 4 pitches. The last couple, last one not missing by much.
Nor did the first one.
Yeah, Butcher to the mound. We'll see whether they linger long enough to get Angel Hernandez out toward the mound, who's probably the one they all want to talk to in the first place.
Well, I think as a pitcher and as a hitter, all you look for is consistency out of an umpire.
Absolutely.
You know, and the sad part is sometimes when umpires, you know who's behind the plate or who is there. That's not good. I think a good umpire, somebody will go home after the ball game and somebody said, who's an umpire? They don't know.
Nobody would have a clue. Absolutely. As you said, consistency is all you can ask for from any aspect in Major League Baseball. Consistency.
The Dodgers had a couple of good plate appearances against Greinke. In each case, he worked the count full. In the first inning, he bounced a single up the middle. He drew a walk in the 3rd.
Well, don't look for Greinke to give in right here, even though he has walked 4 and just walked a run in. He's still not going to give in. He's still not going to throw a hitter's pitch just for the sake of it.
He's going to try to find that little extra he's got right here. He needs a strikeout. He needs something good to happen. That's what good pitchers do.
Dozier chased a high fastball, 1 strike.
And again, working out of the windup with 1 out and bases loaded. Feels a little more comfortable in this position rather than maybe the stretch.
Castro, the runner at first, can take a 30-foot lead based on where Goldschmidt is playing.
And he should stay out of double play. That's the #1 goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one pitch that'll get Greinke off the field here. And look how far Goldschmidt is playing off the first base bag. Blocked by Mathis, and it's 2-1.
I said earlier, Greinke has not had a lot of success here at Target Field. Mathis doing a good job at deadening that ball. 1-3, 4.74 ERA for Greinke. Now an error was made behind him, but see if the Twins can take advantage of that error. They've already scored 1.
Rosario started the inning with a solid single to right. He's already scored. 2-1. Breaking ball, a swing and a miss, 2-2. Not sure that Greinke threw that ball where he wanted to. That pitch was up.
I think he knew he got away with it right there. That high slider.
Dozier looking for contact here. Has just 1 sacrifice fly on the season. And now another full count.
And that's evident right there that he's not going to give in. He's still going to throw his pitches.
80 pitches.
Wouldn't be shocked right here to see a pitch start as a strike and then end up as a ball and try and feed off the aggressiveness that a hitter has with the bases loaded, a 3-2 count.
He's already walked Castro with the bases loaded. Now it's 3-2 to Dozier. Tapper up the line. Dozier will reach on an infield hit, and it's 2-0.
Well, it looked like it went back to the slider, and there's going to be a strike, but Dozier right off the end of the bat, kind of a swinging bunt. Lamb came in, did everything he could. You see where he's playing. Barehands it. Able to get something on the throw, but the hustle of Dozier picks up an RBI as Escobar scores the 2nd run of the inning.
Those are the most beautiful hits in baseball. I can tell you that right now.
Oh boy, they used to eat it. Hit the ball like a man.
Swinging bunts with an RBI on the end of it. That's the way baseball's written up for it right there.
Here's Kepler. He's beaten it into the ground twice. Once for a double play. He hit a high chopper. Looked like it was going to go over the mound, but Greinke made a wonderful play to start a double play. Bases loaded, only 1 out. And Kepler takes strike one.
And you still see Greinke working on those corners right there. That's his MO. That's what he's going to do. He's going to work on the corners. He's going to make you feed off your aggressiveness, try and get you to roll over.
And time called at the plate.
Greinke's shortest outing this year, 5 innings.
So you see right there, Greinke stepped off the mound and moved Goldschmidt over into the hole a little bit more.
One and one.
And that tells me he's going to be trying to work down and away, trying to get Kepler to roll it into that hole, and he wants Goldschmidt to be there.
Well, you see how Greinke is inning by inning as far as earned runs allowed.
83 pitches, 46 strikes. Strike percentage of 56 for Greinke. Pulled hard under the glove of Goldschmidt. Polanco scores, Castro being waved in, and it's 4-0.
You know, Michael, you were here for a 1-2-3 top of the fourth, but I
said we needed a long inning.
We needed to stay here a long time. So far, so good.
And that right there, that's why I'm so shocked that he's only hitting in 3 double plays, because that was a bullet.
Fox Tracks presented by Dodge.
Great job of staying on the ball. 89-mile-an-hour, 2-seamer, runs in, he stays on the ball, doesn't roll it over, doesn't get it off the end of the bat, hits it right through the hole.
And you said he moved Goldschmidt over into the hole a little bit. He should have moved him a little.
You can't guard from a bullet like that. I think Greinke wanted a little more in the corner to get a little more off that end of that barrel.
And now Mauer, a walk and a single, and again, great career numbers against Greinke. Strike in the outside corner. Breaking ball at 73. Those are always fun to reflect on. I can still see Greinke pitching for the Royals and Mauer at the absolute prime of his game. I think he got 3 bullets against him in a game here once on a national game of the week. And it's one of the best against one of the best, and those are so fun to watch.
Well, 2009, we needed to win that last series of the year to close out the Metrodome, and Zach Greinke's Cy Young year, Mauer's MVP year. We needed to win the game. Greinke against Mauer, power against power, both in the prime of the career, and Mauer ends up winning the battle, fouls off some pitches, hits a bullet to right field, puts us up, and we win the game.
Yeah, I remember that. 1-1. Joe with 3 batting titles, and Michael Cuddyer with 1.
That's right.
Then the next year, Morneau won, right? There's a strike call, 1 and 2. Justin was here to share in your moment.
Yes.
And that had me feel good too. Eric Milton was here, and Nick Punto was here, and some of your favorite teammates made the trip here.
Justin Morneau was here.
And that's what I talked about in my speech. You know, for me, that's what I remember. I remember the relationships. I remember, you know, all the time you spend with your teammates and your fans and your front office. When it's all said and done, you know, those memories on the field, they tend to fade. Unfortunately, they tend to blend together. You can't remember games, you know, if it was 2006 or 2009, but what you do remember, you remember those stories. You remember the people. You remember the characters and the relationships. And that's what I wanted to convey to this group that are playing right now. Cherish these relationships, because when it's all said and done, this is what you're going to remember.
And it goes by too fast, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
1 and 2 to Mauer. Beaten foul. Tonight's your bobblehead night. You've probably had a whole bunch of bobblehead nights in your career. I was kind of disappointed in the pose because my image of you, because it's in the clubhouse, right by the manager's office, is the moment you sprang out of the dugout at the end of game 163, and it looked like you hopped about 4 feet in the air.
They could never replicate the height, and that's why they don't make a bobblehead like that. I mean, I was like Michael Jordan on that one. I mean, my head was touching the rim on that one.
A lot of great thrills, but that had to be, and you mentioned it, just the singular moment because of the tension in that game.
No doubt. The electricity, the ups and downs, the roller coasters of that game. I mean, for me, it was one of the most exhausting, exhilarating, exciting, and astonishing game I could ever imagine to be a part of. And I'm actually glad I was in it, because when you're in it, you don't ride that roller coaster as much as if you were a fan and you're watching. So to be in it and have to focus every pitch was a lot easier than not having any control over it.
2-2 to Mauer. Rick Porcello was the starter for Detroit that day, and last year in the Boston clubhouse, I asked him about the game, and he said it was such a wonderful game. They lost, but he still was glad he played in that game.
Absolutely. No matter what, if you're a fan of baseball, you appreciate that game. Whether you win or lose, you can't be mad. You just appreciate that you got an opportunity to either be there and see it or play in it.
This has been one of the longest innings in Zach Greinke's career. Sano on deck. Second base is open. There's still only one out. And Mauer's got a full count.
Well, 32 pitches, of course, 30 in the first, and then he had a couple okay innings.
No activity in the Arizona bullpen. 3-2 to Mauer. Grounded through the hole to left on a hit and run. Kepler took off, and Mauer put it in play, and it's 5-0 with Dozier scoring from third.
I feel like I've seen about 1,200 of those, and every one of them just as pretty.
Well, again, Joe Mauer, great at-bat. 18 hits and 50 at-bats coming in, already picking up his second hit against Greinke. Now Mike Butcher on the phone out through the bullpen. You're hoping you take something off that pitch and he turn it over, but look at Joe. That's what he does so well. Just takes that pitch the other way. You see where Marte is playing, Lamb.
Well, again, it was like we talked about earlier. Joe's not going to go outside of who he is. Pitch took a little bit off, as you said, Bert. Took it the other way. Greinke was banking on that to be a rollover, and he took it the other way right through that hole between third and short.
Sano walked in the first, struck out on 3 pitches in the third. A 5-run inning against Zach Greinke. There was an error, but the Twins have gotten a few scratch hits. Taking a big walk with the bases loaded. Sano checks his swing, or did he? Ball 1.
And this is where you hope Sano takes a page out of Joe Mauer's book and stays within himself, goes with the pitch, doesn't try to hit the 3-run home run. And if he doesn't try to, chances are he will.
Michael, I think, you've seen Sano, you've seen Kepler, you've seen Polanco, Rosario, Buxton, all the young guys last year getting their feet wet. Now all of a sudden here comes some success.
Yes, and that's what happens. You got to get your feet wet. You got to believe. You got to have
you went through the same thing.
I went through it. You all go through it. There's not very many Mike Trouts in the world to be able to come up and just win an MVP. So yes, I don't know what comes first. It's that old adage: does confidence come before success, or does success come before confidence? Whichever way it works out, it's happening right now, and I think you're starting to see Miguel Sano, you're starting to see Eddie Rosario, you're starting to see Byron Buxton with the confidence at the plate, and you're starting to see the results because of it.
1-2 to Sano. Still only 1 out in the inning. And Sano takes away 2-2.
And those are tough pitches to take right there. I mean, you're aggressive, you're ready to go. You got 2 strikes. 84-mile-an-hour slider on the corner like that looks like a strike for about 54 feet, and then it breaks out into the zone.
Yes, Greinke has thrown a lot of pitches just like that tonight. He's just not as sharp with that slider.
Bouncer to third. Force out there, and Sano just lightly jogging to first. I hope he's all right. Michael Cuddyer showed up, a 5-run inning. How about that? It's like you're still swinging the bat.
Sign me up.
Congratulations to the newest Twin Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
Let's get caught up thanks to Toyota.
Jose Berríos, 4 shutout innings, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and he's been on his game, giving up a couple hits, both of them doubles. But the Twins just take a 5-0 lead against a very good pitcher in Zach Greinke. So some big hits in that inning. The 2-run single by Kepler, Joe Mauer on a 3-2 pitch, driving in Dozier.
Last couple starts, Berríos has fallen behind 5-0. Now he's got a 5-0 lead. Pitching to the Diamondbacks in the 5th, the bottom third of their order, starting with Brandon Drury. Breaking ball sweeps in front of the plate, and it's 1-1.
Very important inning right here. Anytime that your team scores you a lot of runs like that, get out there, throw strikes, attack, get your guys back on the bench as quick as possible.
1-2 to Drury, then Marte and Mathis. Ooh, right off the handle of the bat.
Good fastball in.
He almost hit that with his knuckles. See if we can find the point of contact here.
It's a pretty pitch.
It's a pretty nice piece of wood to not bust. 1-2. And now a breaking ball, 2-2. Twins working their way through the National League West. After this series, the Padres come here for a couple of games. And they did okay against the Giants, obviously not against the Dodgers. Won 1 of 3 with the Rockies. Next year, the Twins will play the National League Central. And we will play games at Wrigley Field. Schedule has the Twins spending a week in Chicago, playing first the White Sox, then the Cubs, and then taking a bus up and playing the Brewers for 3. Here's a soft line drive. Polanco with the catch, 1 away. MLB.TV Premium is back better than ever. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 1 down. The Diamondbacks have never sent more than 4 men to the plate against Berríos. They did that in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings. And an off-speed or fastball over the inside corner, 1 strike. Cleveland leading Kansas City 4-0. Chicago's leading Texas 5-2, and the Rangers need to start winning ball games. They're a game below 500. Hit to center, and Buxton is there. 2 down. Soft line drive, a hard line drive, 2 outs. And there's concern in Cleveland about Corey Kluber. Our Sanford Health injury report. Indians saying tonight they're not sure that Kluber will be able to make his next start. Kind of a weird ankle sprain. He just was pivoting to go cover first base. And had to leave the ball game 1 batter later. And the Indians, well, I don't know, they've got the luxury of a 6-game lead. I'm sure they will be very careful with Kluber, who's had some other physical issues. Strike on the outside corner. One strike to Mathis. And now 2 strikes.
You know, with that new 10-day disable list, you can, you know, if Kluber's ankle isn't feeling better, you put him on a disable list. He misses 1 start rather than the 15-day that they used to be out there. And you bring up somebody to pitch that 1 start. So you have that opportunity now.
If J.J. Hoover comes into pitch in the 5th inning, it'll be the first time Zach Greinke has not completed 5 innings. Rosario with the catch. And a 1-2-3 fifth. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm.
Inside the Minnesota State Lottery Winners Circle with Holly Donato from Blaine, Minnesota, and your awesome family. Tell us who all is here tonight.
Oh, my dad, Henry, is 97, and he farmed in North Dakota for 88 years and never missed a Twins game on the radio, KDLR. He listened in the cabs all the time. So he lives down here in the Twin Cities with us now, and we're really happy to get him out to a game or two this summer.
It's fantastic, and I hear you have another special visitor, first baseball game here, is that right?
My daughter's boyfriend from Scotland, Callum Williamson, and I guess this is his first full game. He was here a little earlier in his vacation.
All right, so what do you think?
So far, so good. Started slow, and then we got 5 nice runs there, so happy so far, yeah.
That's a fantastic accent. I love that. Well, we are going to give you guys $100 worth of scratch-off tickets from the Minnesota State Lottery. So we hope they're big winners, and we hope you guys enjoy the rest of the game.
We're loving it. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by.
Guys, back to you.
Ball driven to center on the warning track. Catch is made by Pollock, 1 away.
Yeah, happy birthday. You were hereby circled. J.J. Hoover coming into the ball game. He just got recalled from AAA Reno about 5 days ago, making his 38th relief appearance in his first season with the Diamondbacks. Last 5 seasons with the Cincinnati Reds.
The Diamondbacks were already threatening to have tomorrow as kind of a bullpen game. And now Greinke only is able to give them 4 innings in tonight's game. Again, the first time this year he hasn't completed at least 5 innings. It's not like the Twins knocked the cover off the ball. There were a few scratch hits. There were a couple of well struck hits. Kepler's base hit, Rosario's hit that started the 4th inning. 1-1 now to Eduardo Escobar. He hit the chopper toward Descalzo, who juggled it right before Rosario got in his vicinity. That's hit to center, and that'll carry all the way out to Pollock. Pretty well hit ball for out number 2. And now Buxton. Join Fox Sports North at the next viewing party. It's coming up Wednesday. We'll be in Chicago, and you can be at the Muddy Cow in Coon Rapids. It starts at 6:30. Gonna watch Twins take on Chicago. Enjoy specials, prizes, and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com/events for details. Buxton with a couple of strikeouts, hitting .345 in August. No shame in striking out twice against Greinke. Now facing Hoover, and there's a pitch outside, ball 1.
Hoover, 30 years old. I list him at 6'3", about 240. Good fastball in the low 90s, curveball, changeup.
On the outside corner.
Hoover with the Reds, strictly out of the bullpen. Made 236 relief appearances for the Reds in 5 seasons.
Well, they're really working Buxton away, aren't they? 2-1. Foul back. Another pitch targeted for the outside corner. Gloved by Mathis.
Just a bit high.
Full count.
Yeah, no surprise that Greinke struggled again. You know, he just has not pitched that well here at Target Field coming into this game. Again, 1-3 here in 6 starts.
Poked down the right field line. Buxton's going to run a while. A double, a triple, a home run last night, and now a little flare down the line, and another triple.
Waited back nicely, let that ball get deep into the zone, and just went with it down that right field line. Almost just poking that ball, just trying to make good contact, and it falls into the corner.
Like a second serve in tennis.
He makes me tired just watching him run.
You know, I congratulated him on his great night last night, and then I asked him something I had to confirm. Here's Polanco. He robbed a home run here the other night, and he said to the reporters afterwards it's the first time he had ever taken a home run away in high school, in the minor leagues, in the big leagues. And I find that very hard to believe, but he told me today, no, it's true. He'd never done that before in a baseball game. And he said it felt really good. 1-1 to Polanco. You know, the question Torrey Hunter has been asked a million times. Kirby Puckett was asked, what feels better, hitting a home run or stealing one? And they always invariably say robbing one. Fouled away. So let me ask you, what felt better, giving up home runs or hit? Oh, wait a minute. You never did.
Go ahead.
Did you ever hit one?
I came close. I hit one to short once.
That felt really good, I'll bet, right?
Halfway there.
2-2.
Now, I hit a couple off the wall in my career, but just not over. And this inning's over.
Polanco strikes out, leaving Buxton at third. It's 5-0 Twins. fans of the game watching Jose Barrios put on a show here tonight, pitching well, fielding his position well, like he someday wants to go into the Twins Hall of Fame.
Well, one thing he's doing is establishing that fastball early. 12 of 18 he's been able to get strike one, 11 on the fastball.
Line sharply to Polanco and a quick out here in the 6th.
And there's a fastball right there, hit sharply by Polanco, but right at. Take a look at the fastball. And Peralta hitting it sharply, but Polanco right there.
And with one very quick out, that'll bring up Pollock. He was the last man to reach for the Diamondbacks. Hit a 2-out double in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, 8 straight retired by Barrios.
Breaking ball over. Seattle beat Tampa Bay 7-6. Mariners, one of the top contenders for the wild card spots with the Twins. Seattle now 2 games above 500, 1-1. And Tampa Bay falling now to 5 games below. That's a big number. It's really tough for the Rays because they actually scored 6 runs and lost. Mauer with a diving catch to his right. Barrios is cruising along with a shutout so far, but he's had help all over the field.
Well, you need help. You need defense. You know, you work quick, you throw strikes, you're going to have good defense behind you. Joe made one heck of a play right there. Now he's playing off the line a little bit, but right there, watch Joe right there, just diving to his right and able to get that in his glove before it hit that infield dirt. And Jose saying thank you.
2 down in the 6th, and now Lamb. 85th pitch of the night for Barrios. Strike 1.
15 of 21 first pitch strikes now.
Dug out by Castro.
And you look at the Barrios's line in the 1st inning. What did he establish? What did he try to establish right off the get-go? The fastball. There have not been a lot of many changeups thrown. It's mainly, you know, the curveball can be almost an off-speed pitch, but he's establishing that fastball like that. Good movement there.
And I think he's caught the Diamondbacks hunting the fastball when he's thrown the breaking pitch. Much more often than not, they just take it for a strike. He's been able to throw first pitch breaking balls, and nobody's ever taken a hack at it.
Always have the advantage when you're facing somebody for the first time. There's a 3rd go around on a lot of these guys like Jake Lamb, but he struck him out in his last at bat.
And he got it with a high fastball. 10 in a row sent down by Barrios. 6 shutout innings and a 5-0 lead. is presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. Michael Cuddyer inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame, and yeah, he was an accomplished, still is, an accomplished magician. He pulled some stuff that, I mean, I don't know how he, I mean, I got a couple of card tricks, but I know how they work, and if I told anybody, they'd feel pretty stupid because they're not that good. He's got really good card tricks.
Yes, he does.
Cards move across the room. Castro leading off the Twins' 6th inning.
J.J. Hoover starting his 2nd inning of relief of Zach Greinke.
One and one. It'll be Castro, Dozier, Kepler, then Mauer, and presumably Sano. He did not run out a ground ball. We've got no word that he's injured. He's the designated hitter, so we don't know his status. We will assume he'll take his spot in the batting order until we find out otherwise. Castro looks back at Angel Hernandez.
I'm going to guess that Sano maybe didn't know how many outs there were, because remember Lamb came in and got the force out at third, and Miguel kind of slowed down. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
The Twins sent 9 men at a.
And Hernandez.
Yep. Strikeout right there. The Twins sent 9 men at a plate in the 4th inning.
Hernandez rings up Castro, 1 down.
And Hoover picks up his 2nd strikeout. That's a pitch that Zach Greinke wanted all night long. Was not getting it, but here Hoover got it.
1 down, and now Dozier has had 3 great at bats against a great pitcher. 2 singles and a walk, and in each case Dozier worked the count full. There's a first pitch strike. Jimenez is putting on a hitting guard. Oh, a Mitch Garver. Excuse me. And he's getting ready to hit someplace. So perhaps there is something that caused Sano to not run the ground ball out. We're just in the 6th inning here, and it is a 5-0 lead. And now high 2-1. And now 3-1, another 3-ball count.
Brian has shown a lot of patience tonight.
Kepler on deck. Right field. And coming in to make the catch is J.D. Martinez, 2 down. We'll bring up Kepler. Love Your Melon Nights coming up September 14th. Limited number of special ticket packages, including game ticket and a Twins Love Your Melon beanie. Every ticket sold goes to support Love Your Melon's program to donate a hat to every child battling cancer in the United States. For details and tickets, visit twinsbaseball.com/loveyourmelon. Such a great campaign, and I'm really glad the Twins are behind it once again. Here's Kepler, and there's strike 1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Cooper done a nice job here. He gave up the triple into the right field corner. Buxton just kind of flipped it into the corner with 2 outs in the 5th. Well, it looks like Mitch Garver, either this inning or next, is going to make his major league debut and take over the DH spot for Miguel Sano.
Hopefully Miguel is okay.
It's a thin bench, of course. The Twins carrying 13 pitchers. They have just 3 bench players, so this would not be a well, let's give the kid a chance for his first major league at bat. Paul wouldn't do that with just 3 bench players available. And a high fastball strikes out Kepler, and Hoover has a 1-2-3-6. Twins leading 5-0. Here's the Grand Casino story of the game.
Now, Jose Barrios has been on. Only 2 hits allowed, both of them doubles, and he got a lot of offensive support in that 5-run 4th inning off of Zach Greinke. Max Kepler with a big 2-run single. Joe Mauer just slapping that ball the other day away as he does so well. Picks up an RBI. And scored Dozier for the 5th run.
Paul Goldschmidt will lead off the 7th against Jose Barrios. And a fastball up, ball 1. Goldschmidt struck out in the 1st and hit a comebacker to Barrios in his next at bat. There's a breaking ball that misses inside 2-0. A late game hitting streak where Goldschmidt has had a productive streak. Tapped foul. What's nice to see for Barrios, not just the 10 men in a row that he set down here. I mean, Goldschmidt is about as good as it gets in terms of being a hitter, and he's had a tough time making any contact against Barrios here tonight. 2-1. Tapper foul, 2-2. As the Twins look forward to the end of August and hopefully meaningful games throughout September, this could be a really encouraging start for Jose Barrios. And a check swing. Did it hit the knob of the bat?
It hit the knob of the bat.
Well, that's a big break for the Diamondbacks that had hit the knob. And not a finger or wrist. 2-2. And then the breaking ball strikes him out.
That's a good breaking ball right there. That might be one of the best breaking balls he has thrown to get a strikeout. That was an outstanding location of this breaking ball right there.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier.
He strikes out Goldschmidt for the 2nd time. Strikeout number 7.
There's J.D. Martinez, a strikeout victim in the 2nd. And then he hit a number up the 3rd baseline, and Barrios made a Gold Glove caliber play barehanding it, popping up out of a slide, and throwing Martinez out at first base. Strike called, and it's 1-1.
You know, in the first inning, I was talking about his curveball where he got underneath that curveball, and you know, sometimes when you throw a curveball, kids, you see the thumb right there. He was kind of leaving the thumb this way. Now it seems like he's on top. See the big knuckle of your thumb right there? I'm going to come right there. When you get underneath that ball, it's only going to spin this way. When you get on top of the ball with your thumb, the ball has to rotate that way, and I think that's what Berríos has done really since the first inning on. He kind of made the adjustment. That better breaking ball right now.
Through that whole demonstration, you realize I was scared to death, because the last time you did that,
hey,
you fired it right past my right ear. 3-1. Berríos with a first inning walk, and then that's been it. Look at the strike percentage across the board. 60% with the curveball. Reaches back for 95 in the 7th inning. Pitch number 99, and the velocity is still there.
The good Lord gave him a great arm. Now, if he can continue on this path as far as trusting his fastball, location of the fastball, mixing in the breaking ball, Twins have something.
Fouled off his front foot.
And his location of fastball is just going to get better.
He is a workout fiend between starts.
Well, you know what? I spoke to him about between outings what he should work on, and to me it's a fastball. Got to control the fastball, especially down and away, down and in. Like that. Good pitch.
He didn't make the play, but Dozier did.
Yep.
Got him in time.
Good pitch right there. Fastball away. You know, your catcher sits away. You want to hit that spot around that spot. So even though Martinez hit that ball right back through the middle, that's the angle that he creates. That's a geometry of pitching right there. The angle from that third base side to that corner down and away. A nice play by Dozier.
Geometry of pitching.
Sure. How about that, huh? Planes and angles, baby.
I had no idea pitching involved the different, subjects I took in high school. Geometry, math, physics, right? I mean, friction and, the curveball dropping and gravity and all that. Here's the ball dribbled up the right side.
Change up right there.
And history. You're a part of history in baseball because you, Bert Blyleven, are a Hall of Fame. T-Mobile. Mike Trout with 2 home runs. Rain has stopped the game in Baltimore. The Tarps on the field, but the Angels have a 5-1 lead. Trevor Bauer with another good outing. He's pitched awfully well for the Indians. Jason Vargas knocked out in the 5th inning, and the Indians appear to be on their way to another win. And Mitch Haniger with a grand slam leading Seattle over Tampa Bay.
Not getting handshakes all around. Jose Barrios being spoken to by his manager Paul Molitor. 7 very, very good innings. 7 shutout innings.
Hoover still out there for the Diamondbacks. Mauer, and then it will be Mitch Garver hitting in the DH spot. So certainly worth tuning into the Twins postgame show with Paul Molitor's comments, and I'm sure he'll be asked why Sano left the game and whether it was related physically or otherwise to his inability to run out the ground ball.
Well, and then when when he didn't run out the ground ball, you think maybe there's some leg issues. So that, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Again, this is not a voluntary move. The lead's just 5-0. It's just the 7th inning, and the Twins have only 3 bench players. But so there is a reason why Sano is not in the lineup anymore. Not 2-1 to Mauer.
Well, Mitch Garver will get an opportunity to get his first major league at bat against J.J. Hoover. Hoover starting his 3rd inning of relief.
Garver added to the roster with Robbie Grossman going on the disabled list with a broken thumb. Foul back 2-2. Mauer with a walk and 2 hits against Zach Greinke. His batting average up to .288. Eddie Rosario finally broke over the top of the 300 barrier by continuing to hit well, and Mauer's potentially going to be able to do that. There is his 3rd hit tonight. Reached all 4 times, 3 singles and a walk. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North, presented by State Farm, here to help life go right with the home and auto protection you deserve. Big moment for Mitch Garver. Put together an impressive year offensively. We've been told that Sano left the game with left lower leg shin soreness. He's day to day.
Okay.
Garver is an offensive catcher. They are very happy with his progress behind the plate, but at it, they figure he's going to be a run producer.
Yeah, drafted by the Twins in 2013, 9th round in that draft.
Hit just under 300, 29 doubles, 17 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Take a look at Sano coming out of the box.
I felt something right there.
And a slight limp as he came off the field. 1 strike to Garver. Driven deep to right near the foul pole. What a foul ball.
Oh, jumped on that high fastball. Garver attended University of New Mexico for 4 years and signed by the Twins.
A catcher by trade. Paul Molitor told me the other day they don't expect he'll be doing much catching here. He will be used in the outfield and perhaps some at first base. 0-2 in his first major league at bat. 1-2. And a breaking ball got him. 1 down with Mauer at first, and that'll bring up Rosario.
And Hoover picking up his 4th strikeout.
Twins fans appreciative of Garver's moment. Join Fox Sports North and the Wild for the breakaway 10K, 5K, and 1 mile run Saturday, September 16th, benefiting the Herb Brooks Foundation. All participants receive a medal and are qualified to win 2 sweet tickets for the Wild Stars preseason game on September 30th. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com/events. Here is Rosario, 1 for 3. Singled in the 5-run 4th inning. Ball 1.
He started that 5-run 4th inning with that base hit.
Missing inside, 2-0. Alan Buznitz warming up. Jose Barrios giving the Twins 7 shutout innings. Foul back. 5-0 here, and it's 5-0 in Kansas City as well. The Indians leading the Royals. Kansas City in danger of falling back to the 500 mark. Rios looking for win number 11. Not bad considering that he wasn't even with the team in the opening weeks of the season.
Made his first start on May 7th.
Twins would not be where they are, oddly, without the unpolished brilliance of Jose Barrios and the senior savvy of Bartolo Colon. He'll pitch tomorrow. I don't know if the Twins are going to get to the postseason, but if they do, they'll have some interesting storylines for however long. If they were to get to the wild card game and win that and get another playoff round, my goodness, you've got Irvin Santana, the veteran, and a lot of young guys like Barrios, position players like Polanco and Buxton and even Sano, who are emerging this year. They have a chance to have a lot of the same storylines that the Indians had last year. The line foul behind Jeff Smith.
Well, I hope that the month of September is very exciting for these young kids, whether they get there or not. But what an experience. That's the biggest thing. You get the taste of maybe being there or almost being there, and that carries into the winter. And then you go into spring training with that little better, that little more confidence.
Three and 2 to Rosario. Step off. The consensus among your teammates who were around in 1984 and went through the heartbreak of that awful last week is that 87 might not have happened without the heartbreak, the hardening of that it took to get through the disappointment of 84, the tempering, I guess, of all right, we didn't get it done this year, but we're going to get back there, and we're going to, to use the Bum Phillips quote, we're going to kick the door down.
Well, I know in 1978, the Pittsburgh Pirates, we were knocking on the door, and we got very close, but didn't make it. And everybody contributed. 79, we won the World Series.
It's a long off season anyway, but when you get close and don't get there, November feels like it lasts forever. December, January.
Yeah, Mike Butcher out again. Third trip he's taken to the mound. This is the first time he has had a visit with J.J. Hoover. Hoover walking his first batter. Does have 4 strikeouts. He's given up a couple hits in his 3rd inning of relief.
Silvino Bracco warming up.
Bracco pitched in last night's ball game. Gave up 2 home runs, 2 solo home runs. Bracco did to Dozier and to Sano.
Escobar takes up and away, ball 1. 6 home runs last night. The Twins scored 5 runs in the 4th without the benefit of 1 long ball, without 1 extra base hit, and some of the singles weren't hit very hard either, but they managed to string some things together and score 5 times. 2-0 to Escobar, and now 3-0 with Buxton on deck. White Sox had an early lead on Texas, and now the Rangers lead 13-5. They're just in the 4th inning.
Oh, I love those pitcher duels.
And Escobar steps to the back of the batter's box and takes a strike. 3-1. To short left on a long run for Peralta, and that ball lands caught in foul territory.
Yeah, Lamb made a great catch. A dangerous play.
3 players converged about 3 feet across the line, and Lamb made a great catch.
Yeah, look at Marte right there. It's Lamb that just kind of opens his glove up and able to catch that ball. Nice running catch by Jake Lamb.
And that'll be the end of the evening for Hoover. And Bracco will come in to try to wrap up the 7th inning. The national clearance event is presented by Toyota. The national clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Dodge. Join the brotherhood of muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event, going on now. 5-0 Twins, all 5 runs scoring in the 4th against Zach Greinke. 4 of those runs earned runs. 3rd Arizona pitcher of the night, Silvino Bracco.
Yeah, Bracco, as I mentioned before, worked the 8th inning and gave up a couple home runs in his outing last night. 24 pitches, 15 for strikes, making his 13th relief appearance. He's been up and down, up and down, up and down 7 times with the Diamondbacks between AAA, Reno, and Arizona.
See if Buxton can get a single here. Away, ball 1. He has 4 hits in this series, and they've all been extra base hits. A double, 2 triples, and a home run. And the average up to 241. Bauer's at second. Rosario's at first. Buxton had a great September last year And it took a great September last year to get his average to 225 at the end of the season. You can see he's started his late surge at least a month earlier. Hit pretty well in July, and the average started climbing back then. Here's a ball popped up over the Twins dugout. Again, yesterday I asked Paul Molitor whether he was tempted at all to move Buxton up higher in the batting order, and he said no. And you kind of see why here. I mean, when you look at the bottom of the order now, Bert, you've got Buxton and Polanco, who are doing a wonderful job creating threats from the bottom of the batting order.
And that's one thing Paul mentioned, you know, in the pregame, is that, you know, guys are contributing 1 through 9 now. It's just not, you know, maybe 2 or 3 guys. Everybody is contributing. And that creates a winning attitude, and the Twins have been playing a lot better baseball.
Two and two to Buxton. Pushed a triple into the right field corner his last time up.
Yeah, Bronco with a good slider. And they're going inside.
High fly to center field. Pollock calling for it, and he ends the inning. To the 8th, the Twins up 5-0.
Of America Studio Sports Update. 2 teams with their eye on wild card spots in their respective leagues continue their interleague series at Target Field. Join us Sunday afternoon as the Twins take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Our coverage begins Sunday at 12:30.
5-0 here. The Twins trying to put together a 3-game winning streak in the month of August and improve their monthly record this month to 12-6. And it'll be Alan Buznitz coming in to pitch in the 8th inning, trying to protect a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, Buznitz did a good job out of that bullpen, making his 13th relief appearance, a total of 16 2/3 innings. He's walked 5, 10 strikeouts. He has shown a good fastball at times, overpowering, and then that good hard curveball that he features.
And he will face the bottom third of the Arizona lineup, starting with Brandon Drury.
Yeah, Jose Barrios, 7 shutout innings. He threw 103 pitches, 69 over the plate. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He gave up only 2 hits.
Drury, Marte, and Mathis to hit for the Diamondbacks here in the 8th inning. Right center field, and Kepler over a few steps. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, Jose Barrios tonight, you know, really from the 2nd inning on, I thought, you know, he established that fastball. Got some movement on that fastball, 7 strikeouts. Worked in the hard breaking ball.
It's the first time he's pitched, made a start without allowing a run since his second start of this year in the middle of May against the Rockies. He had 7 2/3 innings, gave up just 2 hits, didn't give up any runs. So in terms of numbers, his second most effective start of the year.
You know what, that game in San Diego, he pitched well too. Remember, he left with a 1-0 lead and they ended up losing 3-0. But no, that's an outstanding outing for Berríos.
1 strike to Marte. Cleveland finished off a 5-0 win over Kansas City. Fouled away. 0-2. I think Business has definitely given the impression that he can be part of the pitching solution here down the road. Very strong arm and improving breaking ball. He seems completely at ease out on the mound. Check swing, and that nearly smoked Mathis.
You can see the fastball right there, clocked at 97. And Buznich came over in the Ricky Nolasco trade back in 2016, August 1st last year.
Alex Meyer also went to the Angels. Santiago came to the Twins. Santiago's been hurt this year. No timetable for his return. His rehab assignment has been suspended. And Alex Myers had more shoulder problems for the Angels. He's given the Angels some snapshots of what the Twins thought he could be, but they can't keep him healthy. 2 strikes. Missing inside. Marte with a foul out to Escobar and a liner to Buxton. Breaking ball tapped up the line. Mauer to the bag. 2 down. Cancer impacts the lives of everyone in Twins territory. Join us August 30th to show your support for cancer awareness. Supporters purchasing tickets through the special theme night ticket package will receive a Twins cancer awareness hat. The color of the Twins logo on the front of the hat corresponds to the color associated with the most prevalent cancers seen throughout Twins territory. To learn more and join the Twins in their effort to strike out cancer, visit twinsbaseball.com/cancer awareness. Diamondbacks haven't had a base runner since Pollock's 2-out double in the 3rd. And Buznich trying to pick up right where Berríos left off in terms of pitching 1, 2, 3 innings.
Yeah, Berríos had ended the game after 7 innings, retiring 13 straight Diamondbacks.
And that's a foul ball. .41 games left to play for the Twins after tonight. To Dozier, another 1, 2, 3 inning. Alan Buznich gets the job done. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm.
The 8th inning. Stay with us after the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We're going to talk all about Jose Barrios. His team got exactly what they were looking for as far as his response after that last tough outing. We'll also take a look at those strong plays from the defense. It's been bread and butter all season long. Tonight we saw just why this team has made such big steps forward this season. And as always, we will hear from Paul Molitor. That's coming up after the game. Guys.
All right, thank you. And again, I would imagine Paul will address the departure of Miguel Sano in the middle of this game to some shin discomfort. Doesn't sound serious, but all I have to do is sit and talk. All I have to do is sit and talk about baseball.
Yeah, it's not us. Yeah.
1 strike to Polanco. Roller to the right side. And Polanco retired, 1 away.
Well, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Jason Castro, the comebacker to the mound, a walk with the bases loaded. He later scored a run, and then he was called out on strikes. Inside, ball 1. Mentioned the Twins after tonight's game. They've got 41 games left and obviously a home game tomorrow. And in the 40 games that remain when the Twins pack up and head out on the road after tomorrow's game, 25 are on the road and 15 are at home. Now ordinarily you'd say, well, that's kind of tough odds. Playing on the road and playing well on the road has hardly been the problem for the Twins this year. They have one of the better road records in all of baseball, 32-24. Foul back. If they win tonight, they'll be 30-35 at home.
Yeah, they have definitely improved their home record. It's slowly getting better.
Yeah. Then you look at where they're going to play. They've got 5 games in Chicago. The White Sox are out of it. Then they go to Toronto for 3. We haven't faced the Blue Jays yet, but the Blue Jays seem to be fading a little bit. Rays are struggling to score runs. They lost again tonight. 4 games in Kansas City. 3 in New York against the Yankees. Those will almost certainly be critical games for both teams. And 4 in Detroit and 3 in Cleveland. Castro got a piece, foul back. Just a gorgeous night. Hope you were able to tune in for the pregame induction ceremony for Michael Cuddyer. Another ceremony tomorrow where Andy McPhail will be inducted. Two and 2 to Castro. High fly right center field in the ballpark. Martinez with the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, nice crowd here, 29,456.
Join Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Twins for Pack at the Park, September 19th or 20 at Target Field. Don't get nervous. It's not a booster club for the Green Bay Packers. Can't make it to Pack at the Park? Well, you can still support Feed My Starving Children and provide 56 meals to starving children across the world with the purchase of this Feed My Starving Children t-shirt. Visit fmsc.org and get yours today. Here is Dozier, and there's strike 1. Foul back. Two strikes to Dozier. And 3 great plate appearances, drawing a walk and getting 2 singles, making Zach Greinke work awfully hard in all 3 plate appearances. Outside, 1 and 2. Missed inside, 2-2. Yesterday, the Diamondbacks obviously lost to the Twins, but the Rockies won. And now Milwaukee leading the Rockies 3-2 in the 7th. At Coors Field. Sure looks like both teams are going to be in the wild card, but a little pressure coming from the Brewers and the Cardinals. Outside, and it's 3-2.
I think Arizona a little concerned about their offense. They're just not. They're kind of sputtering right now. Well, last pitch, that slider. This is outside.
Full count to Dozier again. The 4th time tonight he's had a full count. And he took outside. Dozier didn't hit a home run tonight, at least not yet. But he's had more prototypical leadoff at bats. And he's been on base 4 times tonight.
Yeah, again, he saw a lot of pitches tonight. You see all the pitches thrown to him in this at bat. And the last pitch just outside.
Kepler 1 for 4. He didn't homer either, but he got an awfully big single in the 5-run 4th inning. Shot one past Goldschmidt into right field for a 2-run single. Outside, a ball. High fly to center, and Pollock will wait a while, and that's the 3rd out. To the 9th, and Alan Bouzas will try to finish it up for the Twins. Been a good night for the Twins and their fans and their former players. With Michael Cuddyer being inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame. Now the Twins whitewashing the Diamondbacks 5-0. And David Peralta will be the leadoff man on the 9th against Alan Buznich. You couldn't ask for nicer weather. Just a perfect summer night. And the Twins 3 outs away from going 12-6 in August. Beaten foul right at the plate, 1 strike.
And the Twins 3 outs away from having their 9th shutout by the pitching staff.
Irvin Santana has 3 of those all by himself.
Cleveland leads with 11 shutouts as a ball club.
They got another one tonight. Did you count that one?
No, I did not. They got 12 then. And the Angels 9. Seattle 9. See if the Twins can get their 9th.
1-1. It's against an Arizona team that's very good, but as you said, they've been scuffling late lead to score runs. That was the story when the Twins were facing the Brewers a week and a half ago. The Brewers struggling to score runs, and within that there is yet more encouragement for Twins fans. This lineup looks like it's finally coming together, and they're peaking, if in fact they are peaking, at the right time. Fly to left. They found a way to string together a bunch of good at bats to score 5 runs against Zach Greinke today. And tomorrow it's potentially going to be a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks, and Bartolo Colon will start for the Twins. That's our CenturyLink What's Next.
And Bartolo Colon will be looking for his first win against the Diamondbacks. He's beaten all other 29 teams. So see, Diamondbacks the only team he has not had a win against. So hopefully he'll get that tomorrow afternoon.
Seems odd. I mean, he's spent most of the last 4 years in the National League and won a lot of games. 1-0 to Pollock. Grounded to short. 2 down. Barrios pitched well, and now Buznich is pitching well, and he's handled situations like this so well. He's thrown the ball over the plate. Control hasn't been an issue, and he's got a good, sink on a 97-mile-per-hour fastball.
And a great location right there. You saw it down in the strike zone.
Now Jake Lamb. 18 batters in a row have been retired by first Barrios and now Buznich. And he buries a 96-mile-per-hour fastball over the inside corner. Breaking ball fouled away, 2 strikes.
This is the 20th game between the Diamondbacks and the Twins since interleague play, and the Twins have the advantage, winning 11 of the 19 games. If they win tonight, they will be 8-3 here at Target Field or in Minnesota against Diamondbacks.
Fastball is up.
I say in Minnesota because the Diamondbacks first came here back in 2003 when Twins were still playing at the Metrodome, came again in 2008 at the Metrodome.
Got him with a wipeout breaking ball. And Buznich cleans up the ball game, and the Twins get their shutout.
Well, great pitching tonight. Some really good timely hitting off of a very good pitcher in Zach Greinke in the 4th inning to win this ball game 5-0.
And Tom Hanneman, the Twins have won 3 in a row, 2 in a row over the Diamondbacks. 6 home runs last night, and they didn't hit 1 tonight.
Dick, 7 straight interleague wins for the Twins, and a big one tonight. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll talk about Jose Barrios, what he did this evening, what the Twins defense did, and we'll hear from Paul Molitor.